Alrighty, we are back in the Sunless Sea. Now, the last time we played this, unfortunately, our lovely snow child had finally melted away, which I was super duper bummed out about. We were trying to find a hunting trophy and subsequently a long box to trade for some heart metal so we could save him, but it didn't end up panning out. We really just didn't have it in time. So he ended up melting away. We've also, unfortunately, discovered that Pigmote Isle is now gone. It's deceased and destroyed. All civilization there is gone because we instructed them. We didn't instruct them. We suggested to them that they try to keep their independence rather than ally with either Visage or, I think, folks from the Grand Geode. And as a result, they were kind of blown to smithereens by probably the folks in Visage, judging by the masks everywhere. So those two events kind of sucked, but some positive events. We did finally check out all of the locations for Maybe's daughter. We finally got to, I believe, the Chelinet and the Khan's Shadow up here. Just Khan's Shadow were the last two places that we needed to actually check out for her. And so we've confirmed that she is not under the sea, which means that we will need to go to the surface if we want to finish off that quest line for her. And go to Naples, I believe. So that will be a long-term goal, I think. I don't think we're going to be getting to Naples anytime soon. There is quite a heavy fuel requirement. I believe you need 22 fuel to be able to surely get either to and from the surface or maybe just to the surface. And that's over half of our cargo space. So it's really, it's a tough option to go and do, assuming that we try that out. So that'll be saved for when we have a bigger ship. For now, I think we're going to try to see if we can clear out this very large blank section of the map in the south here. We do know that there are some blue birds with like about 400 health somewhere outside of Port Carnelian the last couple of times we've gone through. So I'm thinking that approaching from a slightly different angle, maybe skipping over Port Carnelian, heading to Igel, and then setting south from Igel is a better solution there. There's the lighthouse ship, which is that dock right there. But we don't know what else is down here. We do know that Fathom King's Hold, our initial reason for setting out to the Sunless Sea, is somewhere in the southeastern corner, where we can find our father's bones, or perhaps our father himself. I think we are expecting his bones, at least. But we have been warned multiple times that we should not go there with anybody that we expect to bring back. So hopefully we'll be able to get to that. If not, we are still trying to assemble our mushroom wine. I believe 15 or 20 mushroom wine that we still need to donate to the Khan's houses so that we can get access to their markets. There are a few things we actually have to get there. We have to go there for a single thing, but we have a few places that we have to go with it. We're always going there for some romantic literature, but we've got to bring it back for not only the Merchant Venturer back in Fallen London, but also down here. Let's see if I can bring that up to Abbey Rock, where we will help out one of our officers, the Presbyterate Adventuress, who wishes to die a valiant death, and evidently bringing romantic literature to the Abbey, the Abbess, and her other sisters there. I think that the Abbess is the term that she provided. We'll let them summon some ancient enemy, and our adventuress can go and fight that enemy to the death. And hopefully wound it for them. I don't know if that would be the way that I would want to do it, but it does seem like that is the option, the only option that we've seen so far that we can take for her to successfully do that. And other than that, we've just got to sail around, hopefully not die, assemble a few things for all of our crewmates. We have still not found a live catch, I believe, for the sigil-ridden navigator. I think he needs 2 live catches to go into the Chapel of Lights to go do whatever he needs to there. Either that, or we have to become a little peckish. We need to get a little cannibal-y here. So we're probably going to go for the live catch, since we don't seem to have that menace as of yet. We do have quite a bit of fuel from our last foray in and our port reports that we all turned into the Admiralty. We've not got a ton of supply. I think we'll buy our way up in that. We've got a decent bit of hold space. I'm wondering if I try to, since we're planning on heading south, I wonder if we try to rely on the Iron Republic, see if the, let's see, Market of Harvests? Whatever the food-related option in the Iron Republic is. See if we try to rely on that, and if not, we can hit Port Carnelian, like I kind of said we wouldn't do before heading out in this southward direction. We are still looking very much for Hideaway. We have not found Hideaway, and we have 1, 2, 3 quests that are completed there. We've got the Nearly Dead Man sending us to Hideaway. He is from the Ragged Crow, specifically the Undercrow there. He's got moths or something living in him, and he wished to send a letter. We also have the Impolite Investigator who wants to go there, as well as the Scholar of Lost Causes. All of them want to find Hideaway. We have not encountered that yet, so we do want to find that somewhere, presumably in this empty space on the southeast edge of the map. But yeah, other than that, I think we can probably... We won't go super hard into the southeast edge of the map, so we'll start cutting off portions of the darkness here, the unshaded regions that we don't have any map knowledge of. And so I think that'll end us up in Khan's Glory anyway, so I think we're going to try to bring at least those 5 mushroom wines. If I recall correctly, mushroom wines are generally cheapest in Fallen London. I'm sure there are small locations that they are cheaper at, but of the major locations, I believe that Fallen London has some of the better prices, and usually it's a little bit more, or it's just sold in other locations. So I'm checking out Port Carnelian. Doesn't look like they sell it at all. They just buy it at a very slight profit. Fallen London should have that. For 21 echoes? Yes, that's correct. It looks like just about everywhere else is a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute. Is it the casks of mushroom wine, or is it the coffee beans? I think it actually might be the coffee beans that we need to go and get into Khan's Glory. Coffee beans are definitely not cheapest to Fallen London. They cost 50 echo there. At Port Carnelian, they are 38 echo. So I think we'll bank on that. Maybe see if we can pick anything up in the Iron Republic since we're heading south. We'll swing all the way down here, hit up Port Carnelian, and then start carving out portions here on our way up to Khan's Glory. And hopefully we'll make it out there all right. So I don't think we have anything left to do in London. We've already grabbed our recruit and we've repaired our ship back up to full. We took a little bit of a beating on our way back in, but we did manage to make it in and heal ourselves all the way up. We could carouse in the docks. We don't have a romance, but that does cost us echo. And we'll use up our free evening. How's our terror doing? Terror is at 34. We could rest for 100 echoes in our townhouse. I'm not sure why it costs money to sleep in our own townhouse. Maybe paying the staff there and whatnot. Apparently I have a child? That does not sound correct. Oh, I see. If I did have a child, that would be another reason, but it is because I have a townhouse. That is why I can sell that. I'm not sure what having a child does with that. Do we sell the child if we sell the townhouse? No clue. Other than that, I think we're all good to set out. I think we're just going to set sail for the Iron Republic, followed shortly by Port Carnelian. And then we'll hit up a few locations here and there on the way down. We're also going slower than I'm used to? Maybe not? I think we're good. Alright, a crab here. You know what? We can sneak up on this crab, blow him to smithereens, and then curve around Mutton Island. Oh, does he see us? Apparently he did. Not quite sure how, but... we could pick it up for supplies. Maybe not. Because it could be supplies, or it could just take away our hunger, and I think it's probably going to do the latter. So I think I'll just dissect it and grab some fragments. You set to work with your knives and acid. It is an undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops of one of the deep Z crab species, but its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. Golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. Ah, they're electric crabs. Interesting. Now, Mutton Island was taken over by the folks from the Grand Geode after we gave them the Sphinx Stone, so they never did get all cannibally. They sealed up that well with some sort of cover. They did rebuild the docks there. They were building them for a while, and I don't know if they are still blocked off because of that. I suppose we'll see here. Yeah, it seems not. Well, we've got the port report at least. The Admiralty, full of unfamiliar folks, is still blocked off Quaker's Haven, so we'll just set out from there. Head on down to the Iron Republic. We could stop at the Cumane Canal, see if we can pick up another move in the Great Game. And while we're at Port Carnelian, we should check in on our spy network, see if we can do anything for them. Oh, crab here. Is he going to get in our way? Let's see how far north we are. No. Looks like he's heading the other way. So, anything in the Cumane Canal for us? I very much doubt it. We do want to get up to the surface to go check out Naples, but that is definitely not something we can really do with the ship unless we lose quite a bit of cargo, some of which we just can't leave anywhere. It's very, very nice cargo because we crafted it in our study. But we'll go grab our port report and see if we can grab anything. Another spy has been knifed, and we've got another move in the Great Game for him. Lovely. Now, the Iron Republic shouldn't have too much for us unless we get excessively lucky with it. With one of the nicer markets. We've still got a few things that we got to pick up for our current crewmates. One specifically is the Brisk Campaigner, I believe? Yeah, Brisk Campaigner, who her soul is on fire. And I think we actually had another individual with that affliction. Maybe it was the Navigators. One of our officers had that affliction previously, and so requested that we go and send him somewhere. Unfortunately, we can't do that for her, but we can pick up a few bits and bobs here and there for her to try to craft a healing solution of some sort. Some of which we already have. So I believe that takes, let me double check here, some solace fruit. Oh, blast. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we do have some solace fruit. We've actually got two, which is very nice. They are quite expensive to buy. I'm not sure where we got that second one. We need Mutersalt, a single strange catch, which we do have, and a docile Blemigan, which we need to find the Uddershroom for. We do also have a reason to go to the Uddershroom. The Severe Chemist who requested that we grab a jar of tether from Rack, also told us to meet him there. And so I'm hoping we'll find that in our southern excursion here. But in the Iron Republic here, we'll go grab the port report, gained a heart, Tale of Terror, and a Memory of Distant Shores. And let's open up the Market of Hungers. See what we can get for it. Fuel, pretty cheap. Ooh, a sack of dark drop coffee beans. Is it better to purchase here or to purchase once we have arrived in Port Carnelian? They're both the same price. Port Carnelian sells sacks of dark drop coffee beans for 38 Echo. Exactly the same price as is being sold here. They do, unfortunately, sell fuel at more expensive rates, so we'll buy as much as we can here, or as much as we think we need here before setting out. I think we've got to... Blast. I'm not quite sure. I think I will sell the Zoop, though. I can't seem to remember any reason for me to carry around Zoop. So I think I'll actually sell that here, because this is above what we would have paid for it if we just picked it up somewhere, then it will be a profit anyway. So we'll sell that just to clear up some cargo space. We'll buy fuel up to, let's say, 20? Yeah. 20. Maybe even a little more than that. No, because we need to purchase supplies and buy at least 5 sacks of dark drop coffee beans. So we'll just leave it at that. Maybe we'll get it here. No, we'll bet on Port Carnelian. We'll go and set off to that location. Instead. I have been keeping my lights on a fair bit. Our terror is at 35, but if we go up to 50 or above, anytime we go below the surface, we have the possibility of finding... Can't remember the call. Uh-oh, we found a dreadnought. Or rather, a dreadnought has found us. Let's see if we can lose him here. If we go into the surface, we find a constant companion, a 750 health nasty beastie, who will absolutely demolish us if we get found by him. He hits for 40-something health. He basically almost one-shots us. He gets 2 hits in, and we're pretty much gone. So I want to keep our terror at bay as long as possible. Or our terror at least below 50 for as long as possible to open up the possibility of us going underwater. There we go. We found the vortex seas. A second benefit of keeping our light on, benefit perhaps is a strong word for it, is that we burn more fuel. And I got what I'd consider an excess of fuel for our purposes, which will, there are those blue birds. We got an excess of fuel just because I didn't want to be without once we got to Port Carnelian and set off into the unknown. Though we do also have to make space for our supplies that we're going to be purchasing here, as well as the... Let's see. Sacks of dark drop coffee beans. So we do have to do those as well. This casket of sapphires, it was suggested to me that, actually from somebody here, I believe from the Khanate diplomats, it was suggested that they would enjoy that in the Khanate. But perhaps that's only something we get after entrance, because we haven't been able to do anything with them quite yet. Other than perhaps selling it. I can't quite recall if we could sell it. I very much doubt it, considering we don't have access to their shops as of yet, because we haven't paid off our way in. And they are kind of starting to get suspicious of us, considering we keep trying to insinuate spies into their network. I don't know what amount. Let's see if we're actually carrying a spy right now. I don't know at what level, they start to do nasty things to us. So we'll need to watch out for that. And this might be the last time I try to insinuate a spy, depending on our number. Maybe we can find that in our journal here, actually. Let's see, so, not the Isle of Cats. Yeah, I don't quite see it popping up here. Ah, the Snow Child. Oh, Boreas. How we failed you. Ah, there it is. Coganian Suspicion. Suspicion of 9. And I think it was something like 17 that marked a transitionary point based on this either skill checks or one of these pictures underneath the options here. So as long as we don't go over that, I think we should be okay. We'll go talk to one of the locals, or the port report in Port Carnelian here. We could affect this here, but I don't think we have an excess of influence over here. So let's see if we can do anything for our spies. We could spend 200 echoes. It's a fair price. Wow, I've got 12 Tales of Terror for an elucidation. An asset once forthcoming has grown reticent. Or wait for another opportunity. I might use these Tales of Terror. I haven't really been using them for anything, and I've been getting them pretty regularly, I think from the Iron Republic. I've got a fair amount. I think I'll use that. Let's do the elucidation. A cautionary tale. You tell the asset, who perspires appropriately, of the bloody rites conducted in Storm's temple at the Chelanet. Oh no, it's not the Chelanet, at Chelanet. Interesting. How they are always looking for celebrants, willing or otherwise. The requirements are meager: bones to break, a voice to scream. Your asset is eager to change the subject. Here come the secrets they owe you, gushing like spray from a cracked drain pipe. Alrighty. There goes our there go our Tales of Terror. We've gained another network. Everything is good here. How can we influence affairs? Should we try to use it? Ah, I see. We need vital intelligence here. Go and do that. But we can either increase the sway of the tigers, increase the rule of the governor, or try to put Khanate agents into key positions. Ah, I see. This would be if we were to side with the Khanate instead. I'm kind of waffling on whether we want to do that. We've been gaining influence from the Admiralty, and if it was just the Admiral, I probably would be more likely to side with the Khanate, but his contact, the spy broker, or what is her name, who gives us all of our agents, I do actually feel a bit of a kinship with her. She works under the books, you know, she's just kind of doing her own thing. And I'm very curious about the Grand Geode. As long as I'm above their influence, I do very much want to see where the folks at the Grand Geode, the very shiny, shimmery folks, I want to see where they're going, where that plotline goes. So let's not do anything for now. I think I did actually see something here where we can seek intelligence. If you have eyes and ears on the Carnelian coast, you can use them to gain more than just a port report. And we do still have our something awaits us here. We've got a 75% chance of that, so let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can possibly get. Ah, vital intelligence. The dangers of success. Your late agent considered this information worth dying for. You blot her blood from the page and apply an old Assyrian cipher. She was not wrong. All right, we gained a Z story, some vital intelligence, and unfortunately we lost a bit of network here. But we are still, we still have a fair bit of amount. We've kind of ended up even for that. So let's go get to the shops. We'll buy our supplies first. I think with 18 fuel, probably 10? We've got 7 crew. 10, maybe 12 supply should be plenty. We haven't run out of supply in any recent time that I've found, but it does tend to be more expensive elsewhere. So let's split the difference. We'll get 11 so that we'll have exactly 5 spots for our dark drop coffee beans. to take up. And that'll let us get a little bit more influence in Khan's glory here so we can get access to the markets. With that finished, I'm very afraid of those blue birds to our east there, right? Directly east. So I might sail a little bit further north. Possibly all the way up to Igel, which is under the sea. But I want to check out the bottom edge here. So we'll head out that way. With our lights off, I think, so we can sneak around these birds. They are unfortunately migrating north of us. Wow, what the heck? We've got our lights off, right? They can't see us. We'll curve around this vortex and then see if we can head where we want. I guess this does put us kind of in line with Igel. A little further south. Perhaps we stop off at Igel for a moment. See how the Needle folks are doing. Ah, that's right, and there are these dust storms in the south. Am I getting pulled towards the south a bit? I can't even tell. I also can't tell what I've been seen by. Perhaps those birds. Oh no, a rat ship. So, what are they at? 130? They're tangleable, but I don't want to set upon them if I don't require, since we're only at the beginning of our voyage here. Alright, they've lost us. How are we doing in terms of location? Doing alright. We're just about at Igel. Oh, there's those blasted blue birds below us. They have 400 health, so they are not something we can deal with in any way. Okay, there's that lighthouse there below us. Lighthouse ship. I think we'll ignore Igel for now. Try to figure out what's going on south here. There we go. Wait a minute. Is that... Okay, yeah, that is the lighthouse on the map. More birds to our northeast. We found Andromeda's rocks. Apparently we found this before, though. Discovered Becker's Bite. Oh, so this is actually like an archipelago, a collection of islands here. Alright, I don't want to sail off the edge of the map. If I do get close to doing that, I will turn around. Discovered Port Addy. Where have I found Port Addy? Hold on a moment here. Can I dock here in some way? I don't see a dock in any way. My ship is definitely too big to sail up those rivers, so I'll head back north here. I definitely don't think I can fit in those rivers. That'll definitely just bonk my ship against something. Ah, those birds are back. I can't, because they're like a flocking swarm, they're not all close and collected like the bats would be. I can't tell where they're going, where they're headed at any point. At least they haven't seemed to yet see me. We'll see what this one has to tell us. This location here. This one is also a dead end. Discovered Rubinex Grotto. Alright. Is there a port here I can dock at, or is it... No. Oops. Tapped that ever so slightly. So I wonder if there's an alternate way in there. Doesn't look like the map is indicating it such. But at least we've cleared that sort of area. We know there's nothing of great importance down there. Or perhaps there is, and we're just not seeing quite what it is. Ah, but there is a dock down here. Discovered Apis Meat. A carmine tint to the wave. We're approaching Adam's Way where flows the mountain's blood. There is a mountain described in the south here, and that has something to do with immortality. I believe our Presbyterian adventurist might have actually talked about that. So I wonder what's up here. Adam's Way, on a bed of monumental ruins, warehouses, and waste stations of shroom timber rise. Interesting. Near Adams Way, all ships that approach Adams Way are intercepted by the Gracious, the Presbyterat's splendidly head-dressed coast guards. A quaint but inviolable tradition governs entry. You must tell them one of 3 stories. In return, you will be permitted to spend a single day in the port. Tale of a city recently fallen. So we've got recent news from London. An unfinished tale. Gracious leaned forwards avidly with an unread log. We've not gotten one of those. We actually do need that for the crotchety tobacconist. We still need romantic literature and an unread log for him, I believe. Or perhaps we turned in the unread log we found before to him. I'm not quite sure. And lastly, not a tale of hell. The Presbyterian has never explained its interest in devils. They are keen to hear what you learned in Mount Palmerston. So the only way that we can get in is by spending our recent news, which I think would be a pretty average trade. Why are foreigners only allowed to spend a single day in Adams Way? For your own protection, one of them explains kindly. Oh, we can actually get to the shop without getting in the city. Tell you what, I will write down their shop. We'll add that to the undersea economy pages. Because it looks like they've got a pretty decent selection of them. So we are in Adams Way? Apis something. No, I think we are actually at Adams Way. Apis Meat. Let's see. Okay, let's double check what it says on the map. Adams Way. I always do want to go through what's on the map because I won't zoom in and see exactly what it's called. Most likely. So, at Adams Way, they want bales of parabola linen for 63. My goodness. Parabola linen. Actually, that might be a fair trade route because Irem, it is very far north, but it is approximately on the same east-west sort of plane. They want, is it mushroom wine or dark drop coffee beans? I think it might be coffee beans, for which they give parabola linen. And since coffee beans we can get cheaply here and actually at Port Carnelian, and if we're lucky at the Iron Republic, for 38 echoes, we'd be making almost double profit, like maybe 75% profit. So that might not be a bad trade route, and that's actually a fair bit of profit for it. Yeah, let's check out Irem. It is a sack of dark drop coffee beans. So if we do feel like that, we could do that. My goodness, they also could sell us we could sell our shrine to stone here for 1,200 echoes. I think that's actually the most expensive thing we've ever seen before. For sale, at least. I wonder if we should do that. What did the Shrine to Stone require? Was that Z Stories or Tales of Terror? Shoot, I can't even remember. Are we currently using the Shrine to Stone? Yes, unfortunately we are. That does give us the hearts. And I think that one might have been Z Stories, which are a little bit more difficult to obtain, rather. So I don't think we'll actually sell that, but we'll keep writing down all of the options here. Cask of mushroom wine. They will buy for 24 echoes. That's actually 1 echo more than most other places out on the Sunless Sea. Usually they all get them for 23. Our Shrine to Stone, which is a fantastic trade, if only it wasn't so difficult to obtain in the first place to trade for, would be 1,200 echoes. Fuel's actually pretty cheap here. Fuel we can purchase for 12 echoes and sell for 2. And supplies, not too terrible. It splits the difference between fallen London prices and out at Z prices, being 12 echoes, selling for 5. No, hold on a minute. 25 echoes. I was correct the first time. So that's about halfway between the 20 that they are in Fallen London and the 30 that they typically are elsewhere. Not the worst, but also not the best considering its proximity to Port Carnelian, which sells them for 18, I think, echoes. So it is an option, though, if we are out here. Foxfire candles, they sell for 30 echoes. I think that's a little cheaper than Fallen London. I think Fallen London, they sell those for 40. And we have used them for something. Not actually sure what. Should I purchase them at all? Perhaps. I'm not sure. I might actually purchase another sack of dark drop coffee beans. Sack of dark drop coffee beans. Because going to Khan's Glory puts us near Irem, and we can get into the Dreaming House, or whatever it is called there, with a sack of dark drop coffee beans, I believe. And if at our current amount, we have just enough to go bribe the Khanate, but not enough to give to Irem afterwards. So I think I might do that. We'll see what we do inside. I will trade our recent news here to get inside Adam's Way, so let's do that. Tale of a city recently fallen. The gracious are always eager for news from London. A new day. Is their interest strategic, or do they just enjoy hearing about London's miseries? Regardless, they permit you to dock. The day has just begun. In the town square, a yellow-robed priestess plants a seed in a bed of black soil. No sooner is she patted down the soil than a tiny shoot pokes forth. By mid-morning, it will be a sapling. By lunchtime, a budding tree. By evenings, and it will wither and fall. You must be back on your ship by then. Whoa. That's interesting. To the south, the Elder Continent and the 72 cornucopian kingdoms of the Presbyterate. Are the stories true? Rivers of honey, castles of ivory, who can say? Foreigners, that's you, are forbidden from the interior. The closest most get is Adam's Way, a shouting, feasting, thieving riot of a port. Options may change as the day progresses. So, we can visit an exhibition of the Presbyterian curiosities. Interesting. Which costs us an echo, but presumably takes up some time. I'd assume that all of these actually take up some time. We can assist at an animescence hospital? Animescence hospital, not sure what that one is. Stands away from the port on a lonely Z-side bluff. We can listen to a storyteller to presumably hear about the some Presbyterian news or background, something kind of like that. Unfortunately, we can't do whatever this is. An avuncular broker has a commission. His client has a task of modest but scriptural significance. He is conducting interviews. Unfortunately, we don't have the avuncular broker's little problem at all. So we can't have that option. It's locked off for us. Or we can sit by the tree of a single day and let the hours pass. Presumably that's if we just needed to move on. But I do want to experience all of the options here. So I think I will... Shall we look at the curiosities? Maybe we'll assist at the hospital. I'll listen to the storyteller here. I'm not sure. Actually, that'll get us a port report. So let's listen to the storyteller. Ignore the gaudy entertainments intended to defraud visitors. Pass the street hawkers. They will only tell you what you want to hear. Shun the tavern gossip, most of which is fabricated by the Mithridate office, the Prester's propagandist. Prester, presumably Presbyterate somebody. Let's go listen to the storyteller instead of all of those. The buzzing of the bees. Climb the stairs cut into the hill. Sit at the foot of the bee-capped stone columns. They will shield you from the southern mountain heat. Be quiet. Listen, old storytellers share at the shadow. The Prester is on the verge of declaring the Dawn Machine a blasphemy. London's bureaucracy is riddled with the children of the Thief of Faces. An expedition of foreigners recently put to shore to the west, then went south in search of the garden. They were discovered and given to the Red River. Wow, interesting. tree of the single day is tall and strong. Its branches stretch over the rooftops. Did that use up 2 of our... Hold on, I thought it was a... I thought it would be like a short tree by the second phase. How much does it use up? I suppose we'll go back and see. But it does sound like the Dawn engine, or the Dawn machine, which was the folks of the Grand Geode's like religion something, whatever it was, the very shiny proper folk, is at odds with the Presbyterate. Interesting. And we've got no idea who the Thief of Faces is. Maybe that was one of the like the London Underground sort of black market leaders. I can't quite remember what our contact in London. Can't quite remember who he claimed were the bosses in that area. We're going back. Let's see. We have 2. Okay, that did only use up a single day here. Apparently we can talk to the avuncular broker now. Ooh, and this will actually be our last option here. I would like to try to catch a nut that falls from this tree of a single day. But it looks like we can do that the next time. So let's talk to this avuncular broker here. The avuncular broker has a commission. His client has a task of modest but scriptural significance in conducting interviews. He meets you on the balcony of a shoreside coffee house. My God, that's an intense photo or image. I know it's just like an eye, but something about it looks really intense. Maybe it's just the red kind of shading on it. But yes, he meets you on the balcony of a shoreside coffee house. His handshake is effusive. His smile and cummerbund are broad. He urges you to squares of sticky baklava and a tiny glass of black coffee sweetened with a sprig of mint. I trust you won't mind answering a few questions, he asks, opening a notebook to ensure we're on the same page, so to speak. The interview is scandalously personal. What business has he to ask such things? Well, we can give up a secret to answer truthfully. We've got 17 secrets, so we've got quite a bit. We could lie to him, but we've only got a 25% chance of that with our current veils. Or we could just leave, so I'll just give him a secret. Answer truthfully, though it means giving up a secret. An unexpected tactic. He blinks in surprise. Goodness, I must admit, I expected you to lie. Never mind, never mind. Knowing you as well as I do now, he studies his notebook, too embarrassed to meet your eye. I think we can do business. You may accept the broker's commission in Adam's way. Interesting. Oh, I see. So this we can do at 4. This we must do now or lose the possibility of doing that. Apparently we won't be able to assist at the Animescence Hospital, unfortunately. Probably same with visiting the exhibition of Presbyterate curiosities here. So let's go try to catch a nut here. Let's see if we can do it. It's just a matter of luck, apparently. Catch a nut that falls from the tree of a single day. Picking them from the branches is forbidden, but fallen ones are useless. You'll need to intercept it between bow and ground. Fruitless. The branch is too far, the nut too small, and your hand too slow. When it strikes the paved square, the nut bursts into brief, pointless life. Thread-like shoots squirm out, groping for water. Desperate roots claw at a crack in the stone. It's no good. Its strength spent, the shoot browns, stiffens, and expires. Oh, but we got a limitable relic from it. Alright then. Alright. Oh, there's something new here. Attend a funeral feast, a public square, a gathering of the bereaved, uncannily cheerful. A table shining with cutlery, white china plates, tall glasses. I think we will ignore that and accept the avuncular broker's commission here. He orders a plate of figs soaked in honey. Tell me, what do you know about the disciples of the Thief of Faces? Nothing at all. I've only recently mentioned it, heard it mentioned here. Doing the Prester's work, or snuffers to children and Londoners. Awful creatures. Eat candles, steal faces. Erasing them is a sacrament. As an associate of mine had recently found one in Port Carnelian, but before he could expose it, he disappeared. Maybe the snuffer got him. Or perhaps one of the port spies. The place is stuffed with them. No, certainly not. There are no spies in Port Carnelian. Don't go looking too closely for them. That'll waste your time. And come up with nothing. Certainly. Your commission is to root out Port Carnelian snuffer, capture it, bring it back here. I'd like to ask it a question or two. He pops a fig into his mouth. Okay, so for our friend here in Adam's Way, We presumably need to go to... Let's see. So his name is the Avuncular Broker. We need to go to Port Carnelian. Capture the Snuffer. No, the Thief of Faces. And bring it back to Adam's Way. Alrighty. Well. Oh no, did that not... Apparently that did not actually use up our time here. So, do we assist at the Animations Hospital? Do we visit the exhibition here? Or do we attend the funeral feast? Who is the funeral feast for? Evidently we unlocked this with our Something Awaits Us that we have not used. I very much wonder what this is. I think I want to attend the funeral feast. It seems like the most attractive solution, the most attractive option here. So let's go with that. A public square, a gathering of the bereaved, uncannily cheerful, a table shining with cutlery, white china plates, tall glasses. Curiosity, you move closer for a better look. The replete occupy lofty positions in the Presbyterat's military. Despite their sanguinary past, they dine with the Prester and send their children to be educated at London's university. However, they maintain their tradition of eating their dead. Oh my. Oh my. The feasts are held in public. Here in a broad square stretches a splendid table. The departed was only a distant relative, some great aunt or second cousin, and the atmosphere is jolly. Servants carry the deceased over in steaming joints cooked to perfect pinkness. The stately mourner stands already wobbly from wine. Shall I carve? Whoa. My goodness. So we can merely observe, which is probably what I'm going to do. We could steal scraps from the table, which presumably would actually get us the unaccountably peckish, whatever this is, card. And then if we had that, presumably, yes, if we had unaccountably peckish already, we could accept an invitation to dine. If we had been very unaccountably peckish, we could sit at the table as a guest of honor to either increase our iron or veils. Let's just watch. I don't want to dart off here. We're a soldier after all. We have been exposed to more spooky sort of things, but this is still definitely unsettling. Let's merely observe. The locals hurry by, unwilling to watch. It's the foreigners who linger and gawk. Feasting. A plummy anthropologist cranes her neck for a better view. Have we met this person before? Is this one of our officers? I don't think it is. This isn't normal here, you know, she tells you, noticing your interest. The other nations of the Presbyterate think they're crackers. Still, I bet the Prester finds them useful. The threat of imminent cannibalism must facilitate no end of diplomatic negotiations. A salt cellar passes along the table. Napkins dab at mouth corners. The anthropologist is warming to her subject. I hear the practice began with one of their forebears who sailed into the far north. I may have to take a trip that way, see what it's like for myself. I wonder where in the far north they found that. We gained a bit of terror. Ooh, we're actually at 50 now. That's not good. We gained a tale of terror and terror itself, as well as a memory of distant shores. Ooh. Oh, man. Apologies, I had to let out a unhappy cat. That's pretty... That's interesting. I guess we know if we ever decide that we want to get unaccountably peckish. Guess we know where to go. But, yeah, that was our visit to Adam's Way, I guess. Let's return to our ship. The day is over. It's time to return to your ship. Back to Z. The gracious comb the streets, ushering visitors politely back to the dock. Wow. That's very interesting, I suppose you could say. Shall we ask? Shall we ask this? I wonder if this is like the option to try to sneak in, something like that. Not sure. I suppose it doesn't say that it's a check or anything. It doesn't say that anything will go wrong. So let's hit go here. Perhaps it won't do anything at all. Why are foreigners only allowed to spend a single day in Adam's Way? For your own protection, one of them explains kindly. Unsafe. Ah. The soil of the Elder Continent is dangerous to incomers, they claim. Those who linger can contract unfortunate conditions, hysteria, rapture, and emissions. And the rumors that the Presbyterian law offers no protection to foreigners after dark? Errant nonsense. Interesting. Well, we know now why that is not a good option. I don't think we'll buy anything. I think our supplies are doing okay. They're not doing terribly. Our terror is unfortunately rather high now, but I think that's just a matter of time more than anything else. And I think we will pick up our last extra sack of Dark Drop coffee beans here. Fuel we'll pick up a little more of. I don't think we'll find it any cheaper out at sea, so I think we'll pick that up to honestly max. So we'll get that first, and then the rest we'll spend on fuel. So 18 should probably be enough, and we'll have a spare cargo slot for anything that remains if we come across anything near here. Let's go set out here, back to sea. Oh, and there's actually an open gate here. Interesting. So can we go through that? Let's go and check. Yeah, what is this? Oh my god. This must be the River of Blood they were talking about. Discovered the Dark Griffin Straits. Only living ships may dare Adam's Way and survive your hull. Shudders and crackles as the water grips it. Okay, I will take that. I will take that hint. Oh yeah, and we're actually losing hull. Okay, so we will take that hint and back right the heck out here. Wow, interesting. I wonder what a living ship is. That must not be anything from the Admiralty. No way that is something we can buy at one of the Admiralty shops. Discovered Point Livingston. How are we doing in terms of where we are on the map? We're about 3/4 of the way east here. I don't think I want to go fully to the southeast edge here, but I do want to go a fair bit of a way. Maybe once we get to like Khan's Shadow sort of area, Eshaven kind of latitude, longitude? I forget which is which. We'll head north. Wow, that's very interesting. A river of blood which consumes your ship. How interesting indeed. This area down here is completely devoid of life. No trees, nothing. A buttery bloom of light on the southern horizon. You approach Varchus, the mirrored... Varchus, the mirrored city. Do I now? How interesting. Alright, so we'll go here and then we'll set off pretty much directly north. Yep, so there's Varchus. We've got our something awaits us back. This seems very structured here. Port Erdenez. So it seems very carved in. Varchus, the mirrored city where light was always the law. Interesting. The burning white light of Varchus. The walled city of Varchus is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers slow blooming around the moldering stone. A quincunx of carved stepped towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough, shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varchus. Two towering carved stone lamps throw their light onto the angled mirrors, and blue-cloaked guard stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the Elder Continent, In the far distance, a vast mountain glitters. Wow. So this must be... Yeah, we'll go grab the port report first. Compile a port report the Admiralty will want to know. The mirrored city and its glories. Tone down the details of the light and its brilliance. You don't want to inspire envy in the Admiralty staff. So is this sunlight that they're... Carved stone... No, there's stone lamps. They just happen to be reflecting off of all the towers here. Choke on the smell. It is overpowering sweet. It comes from the fungus growing wild all over the city's stones. We can go and talk to some zailors. Sailors wave you over. They're sitting on some upturned crates on the docks, playing a game with mirrored ships and stylized snakes made of bone. Ask the guard a few questions. Never a bad idea to gather a little intelligence before heading into unknown waters or cities, as the case may be. Or tell them we wish to enter. Well, what else are gates for if not to go through? That'll take up our something awaits us here. Let's smell here. That doesn't... I mean, it might be bad, but it doesn't seem to indicate it via the option here. The flowers have white waxy leaves, which leave powdery traces on your fingers. The light coming from the city has the same camphorous quality. And the smell, perfume worn too many days on the body, unread books left to turn to ink-stained pulp, a garden drowned and rotting in still water. Interesting. So maybe we could get the unread logs here. If it's talking about... Maybe it's just describing the smell, or maybe we can find some unread logs. Is there a shop? Not at present. Let's go talk to the zailors, I suppose. We'll go on kind of on the outside in here. Zailors wave you over. They're sitting on some upturned crates on the docks, playing a game with mirrored ships and stylized snakes made of bone. You're not thinking of going in there. The zailors gawk at you in unconcealed horror. They take turns telling you gruesome stories of Varkas, which they no doubt invented whole cloth. Presumably that's the same as wholesale. Some are convinced that the Varkasi renders zailors into tallow to light their city. Others say they steal shadows and sell them to their masters. All of them are convinced that they blind any strangers who dare to gaze too long upon their city's secrets. We're just waiting to be paid, then we're off, one of the zailors says, nervously fingering a mirror chip. I've only got one eye left and I'd like to keep it. Oh my. I don't know. Do I still want to go in? Let's talk to the guard first. Ask the guard a few questions. Never a bad idea to gather a little intelligence before heading into unknown waters or cities, as the case may be. Let's see what he has to say. The blue-cloaked guard only acknowledges your existence when you step out of the darkness into the path and into the light from the lamps. At the mirrored gates, the guard stands in the middle of the pool of light, looking warily at the darkness beyond you. Up close, the guard's blue cloak is threadbare and mossy along the hem. A pattern of embroidered suns runs along the collar, but the gold thread is dull. The kohl around her eyes is smudged. Well, Thomas, she asks, are you going to ask your question, or are you just going to stare? Her tone is brusque, but her expression is curiously eager. You do not think Varkas receives many visitors. We'll not correct her immediately. Let's ask about the light. No, let's start with something a little lighter here. Let's ask about the city's customs. That seems very topical. Best to know before you flout them. Easier to plan an escape route that way. Don't touch the mirrors. Don't even look into the mirrors, she says, her voice hard, and try very hard not to dream. Were you expecting something along the lines of don't murder anyone or only wear red on special occasions? Still, you nod and smile. Okay. Don't do stuff to the mirrors. Mirrors bad. My name is not... No. Let's ask about the light. It seems a bit wasteful, possibly even ostentatious. We must always walk in Mihir's light, so we burn our lamps night and day to banish darkness from the mirrored city, she tells you proudly. If we let darkness corrupt us, we would not be Varkazi any longer, but Tomas, like you. Ah, okay. You wonder, is that so terrible a fate? Her mocking laugh answers you even before her words do. Yes, it would be terrible indeed, Tomas. And before you ask, she adds, no, I do not have any desire to leave Varkas. The rest of the Neath has fallen from Mihir's grace, and I have no wish to join them. My name's not Thomas. lady. She has mentioned this multiple times. I get it from context, but I do want to hear all of the information that we can possibly glean from this. Let's correct her politely. The guard looks scandalized and tries to stop her ears. All those who are not Varkasi are Tomas. You have been touched by darkness and it has taken your name. She fixes you with an admonishing look and adds, it is very ill-mannered to pretend you still have one. You begin to see a little why Varkas is not often visited. It looks like you will have to get used to being called Tomas if you wish to enter. Okay. That's pretty much as I expected. She was a little more offended by the fact that I said my name is not Tomas by it, but okay. Let's ask about her, I guess. That's the last question we've got on the docket here. So, does she like her job? Does anyone? It is a great honor to guard the mirror gate, she snaps defensively. She gestures to the very edge of the pool, to the edge of the pool of light illuminating her post. It is very dangerous. Even a small stumble and I could fall into the dark. Her voice goes thready. I would be banished from Mihir's grace. I would lose my name. That is why they only send the bravest outside the walls. So the Zailors are very scared, but this seems like a pretty understandable place. They just are afraid of the dark. You stand in the light and you have a name, and you are Varkas. Yeah, Varkas. Or Varkazi or something like that. And if you are from outside or from the dark, your name is Tomas. So I think that's all the questions we have. You are satisfied, or perhaps the guard's voice is beginning to grate a little. She looks a little disappointed, but does not try to engage you further. Let's go in here. It doesn't seem that dangerous. I think the sailors are just talking it up here. Tell the guard you wish to enter. Well, what else are gates for, if not to go through? Before we do that, any shops? I think I checked that before, but I forgot. There are no shops at the moment. So let's go through the gates. She makes a mark in her ledger before ringing a brass bell. The mirrors of the gate rearrange to give you space to pass, but never once allow shadow to touch the guard. Our ways are not yours, Tomas. Remember that, and walk in the light of Mihir. Ah, our Varkas, the mirrored city quality, is now 1. Inside the city walls, your eyes are blinded by the brilliance of the light. The verdant rot smell is even thicker. The heat of so much flame and reflected light presses oppressively against your skin. Your head pounds. It is a few minutes before your eyes adjust, and you can look around. Brass lamps and gilded sconces hang from every wall, and phosphorescent fungus grows moss-like upon doorways and ceilings. Cunningly arranged mirrors catch every droplet of light and diffuse it till each cobblestone and rampart of the city is drenched and blazing and utterly without shadow. Who do you speak to? So, we've got a few options here. We've got the Firekeeper, the white-cloaked guard, the fungus carter, the jewel-turbaned youth. He's winking at you. Is that a furtive wink or a flirtatious one? Or we could continue our explorations here. We're in the outer district, according to this option here. Presumably... Okay, so these two options seem to use up our something awaits you, which I don't quite want to do yet. Perhaps I will have to use that in the inner district if we ever get in. These don't seem to, but they only seem to be if we have Knells of the Tower less than 4. Or less than 5, I suppose. So the Firekeeper is dressed all in saffron. A pair of thick fireproof gloves dangle from a silver chain at her waist. And the jewel-turbaned youth is the one winking at us. Let's talk to the Firekeeper here. Let's see what she has to say. I'm too important to play guide to you, Tomas, she tells you before you even open your mouth. I'm the keeper of the Western Principal Mirror. She points up at the enormous multi-faced mirrors set atop each of the city's 5 towers. I'm only here because I'm looking for my idiot brother. He's probably busy pouring wine down some pretty dark-eyed boy's throat in a tavern. Is it a matter of great urgency, you wonder? He's late for his lamp checks in the sacred district, in her terse reply as she hurries away. If the Agni Hotri found out, he'd be lucky to end up a lake dredger. Interesting. Well, we've got a few new terms. Apparently she's a keeper for the mirror, presumably by the fact that there's a west principal mirror. It means there's east, north, and south principal mirrors. The Agni Hotri is probably some sort of governing body. The Sacred District is another district. We are in the outer district right now. And whatever the lake dredger is, is a very low position on the totem pole. So we got a memory of distant shores for that too. Now, I don't think we'll talk to either of these before we go further in. If we go in and see something else that requires us something white, this might be a better option for us. Let's go talk to the jewel turbaned youth. Presumably, this is not a flirtatious wink. I want to see if he maybe is going to lead us around. He's winking at you. Is that a furtive wink or a flirtatious one? Only one way to find out. He looks utterly overjoyed to make your acquaintance, the bangles on his wrist flashing as he presses his hands together in greeting. My friends and I would be honored if you would attend a small gathering with us, Tomas. We are so eager to hear about the world outside Varkas's city walls. It seems an innocuous enough invitation, but then why does his gaze dart around so anxiously as he tells you how to find his mansion in the Eastern District? Oh. Okay. Okay, so one, he's a youth. And the Eastern District is a thing. I suppose that's two. Secondly, something about this invitation is rather suspect. And I'm not sure if it's suspect because he is leading us into a trap or if it's suspect because he's breaking some whatever tradition here about inviting a Tomas to his residence. Perhaps he wants to tell us something under the knowledge of the Agnihotri. Perhaps that's happening. But I think we'll leave these last two. We won't use over something awaits us here. We'll go a little further from the outer district here. The mirrors, time to venture further than the outer district. The mirrored city gleams invitingly. You'll get used to the smell in time. Okay. Nothing else here that uses something awaits us. So we probably could have used it on the outside. That's fine. We'll probably have a opportunity to go back. The center of Varkas, you walk galleried courtyards wreathed with vines and fungal blooms. Long straight roadways crisscross the length and breadth of Varkas, the stone worn by the wheels of carts and the tread of thousands of slippered feet. Lamplighters constantly check the fuel levels of the sconces and replace wicks. The firekeepers check the coiled spring mechanisms that control the angle of the mirrors. There's so much to explore. Where will you go next? Entertainment in Varkas. There are bars and gaming houses to the west. The hospital. The hospital lies in the shadow of the southern tower. The guardhouse. Down a side street, you can see a sun emblazoned flag from here. The Temple of Mihir. It lies in the sacred district at the center of Varkas. The mansion of the jewel-turbaned youth is in the eastern district. Or the inn. At evening, after the fifth bell, each Tomas is assigned a room. So this Knells of the Tower is probably time spent. So we only have until 4 to do most of these opportunities here. And then very last option here, which we don't have unlocked, a pilgrimage to Amaradry. Amaradry, maybe. The Agnihotri seeks wisdom. The sick are ready to begin the long journey. The young and the restless have made their plans. The swords of the guard have been renewed. The pilgrimage is ready to begin. What we need from that? We need the Jewel Turban's invitation to be 2, which we only have 1 of. We need the Agnihotri's interest of 1. We need the respect of the guard at 1. And, or possibly, we need the dour-faced nurse's approval of 1. Maybe all of them. Let's go around the area. So I don't want to talk to the guards straight off the bat. I think bringing us to their attention would be a very poor option indeed. I wouldn't like that at all. I think maybe the hospital is probably a better option, since the Temple of Mihir since this place seems to run on a sort of religious zealotry. Don't really want to introduce myself to the priests as well. We'll go to the hospital, see what they consider an affliction. Maybe there is a reason that they're all in the light the whole time, and I think going here would tell us that. So, the hospital lies in the shadow of the southern temple. Are you feeling a little fevered? Do you just hope to learn medical secrets? Yes, I do. Or perhaps you just enjoy the moans and flushed faces of the sick and suffering. Not quite. The Charitable Hospital is a long galleried building divided into a series of curtained wards with their own light sources and mirror series. A dour-faced nurse glances at you glances at you expectantly. Which ward are you here to visit? Oh, okay. Oh, the brisk campaigner. Okay. And the haunted doctor, which unfortunately we can't do for some reason. We haven't dined with him yet. Yeah, let's offer the services of the brisk campaigner. You've won her trust. She's prepared to come ashore. Let's give it a shot here. The dour-faced nurse watches you carefully as you assist the campaigner in cleaning wounds and changing bandages. She gives you a satisfied nod. The guards are pleased to have a new attendant and calls you Nurse Tomas with a warm, welcoming mockery, which makes you feel like part of their crew. They try the same thing with the campaigner, but only very briefly. You see the campaigner and the nurse exchange a glance of challenging, cordial respect. I guess she didn't respond to it quite as well. Good work, the dour-faced nurse says at the end of your shift, handing you each a cup of steaming mushroom tea. It revives you greatly. Do you detect a hint of tree sap liquor at the bottom of the cup and something else, something of the south? Interesting. So time has passed. We've now gotten approved by the dour-faced nurse. We've lost a bit of terror. We've gained a memory of distant shores. We've gained some heart's iron mirrors, and a few fragments. Wow, that's a great way to increase our stats then. We're just getting them for free like that. Fantastic. Oh, and I guess they kicked us out after that. Maybe I hit the wrong option there. All right, returning to Varkas. The walled city of Varkas is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers slow blooming around moldering stone. Okay, so this is just the same background, like description, the flavor text that we had the first time. Welcome. The guard at the mirrored gates smiles clearly. She remembers you. Yes, please let me in. Blue-cloaked guard waves you through. Walk in the light of me here. So, who do we want to talk to now that we know there's nothing that awaits us in the city proper? Either the fungus carter or the white-cloaked guard. We are in the good graces of the guards at the moment. We just, helped out at the hospital with our brisk campaigner, with our officer there. So we are currently in their good graces. I think we'll talk to the guard, actually. The white-cloaked guard. The suns embroidered on his cloak are picked out with gold thread, and the edges jeweled with carnelian. So let's see what he has to say. Tomas, he presses his hands together in a greeting and then gives you an anguished look. You look terrible. Are you sick with a terrible outsider's disease, or is that what your nose naturally looks like? Aw, come on now. What? Over your protestations, he gives you directions to the hospital. Oh, the medics are all butchers, to be sure, but they walk in the light of Mihir, he adds breezily, then points out the guardhouse in the vague direction of the Temple of Mihir, and the street of bars and gaming houses. You don't want to get a reputation for being inhospitable. He laughs as if he has made a grand joke, and you laugh along weakly. Oh, that took up some time here. Blast. Okay, well, we gained a fragment for it. I'm not sure with this. I see that indicates that we'll get something when we go back to Fallen London. Interesting. Let's go inwards. We can no longer talk to the fungus cart gatherer or something like that. The fungus folk. So let's go deeper into here. So, where to go now? We have spent 2 of our 4 bits of time here. We can spend a night at the inn. Presumably that will cost us something, though. And I'm not sure that I trust this area quite that explicitly. I'm very concerned that we will have something unfortunate happen to us if we do spend the night at the inn here. I'm not confirming. Everybody seems very friendly, even if they are sort of religious zealots for whatever this Mihir stuff is. I don't know. But I think we have talked to the guardhouse. The guards seem to be much more baked into the religion of this place. Because they thought there was something very obviously wrong with us from being from afar. So perhaps we should visit the temple instead. I don't want to visit the entertainments, since I think that'll be a kind of a waste of time here. I don't know if that'll give us any more insight into the building. And it kind of the distinction between the guardhouse and the temple here is minimal. I'm just afraid that if we go to the guardhouse, they'll send us to the hospital, perhaps forcibly. I don't want to do that. So I think the temple is the better option. It lies in the sacred district at the center of Arcus. Maybe we'll meet the flame keeper that was mentioned before. The sound of bells grows louder and more reverberant as you approach. The Temple of Mihir, the temple tower, pierces through the city's heart, taller than the other 4 towers which stand at each of the cardinal points. Around the temple sprawls the sacred district, vine-covered stone shrines, still ponds glowing with algae and flash-finned carp, priests in white, their wrists heavy with metal chains. There are no mirrors in the Temple of Mihir. The rest of the city has to do with mirrored light and reflection, but Mihir's most sacred space is filled with hundreds of lamps and lit candles of hard-packed phosphorescent fungus. So we can listen to the mantras, the bas reliefs. Every surface of the temple is carved and worked. If you peer closer, the bas reliefs depict Farkas's fall into the Neath. Interesting. Dreams of smoke. We were warned explicitly not to dream here by the zailors, or maybe by the guards. We also don't have a mirror charm or a dream of smoke here. The Agnihotri, the Varkasi equivalent of a king or governor. He is overseeing the rituals, and he gives you a slanted glance. I don't think he likes us very much. The Sunseers, most important priests of Mihir are the Sunseers. They wear necklaces of glowing scintillic beads. They'll pay well for more scintillic. We've actually got some scintillic on us as well. The blue scintillic, which we don't have anymore. The Rat Star, which has disappeared after the civilization there went kaput. How much more will they pay for this treasure? The Shrine of Mihir? His stone-carved form is rubbed daily along with glowing moss. Perhaps it is guilt which makes you think of placing a lamentable relic among the flowers and other offerings. No! Wait, is that a good placement or a bad placement? I feel like placing the lamentable relic would be a bad thing, but perhaps it is guilt which makes you think of placing a lamentable relic among the flowers and other offerings. I don't know about that. That seems a little more sacred. I think we'll try to sell one of our scintillic here to the priests. Apparently, there's a trade embargo on most imports, but essentials like gas, rice from inland, and scintillic are spared. You haggle because that is a required part of the process, but settle on a price that makes you both break into a smile. 2 outlandish artifacts for that. That's actually pretty good. We need 7 outlandish artifacts to get our shrine of something. The Song of the Z. Zong of the Z, I think it is, in the study. So we are on our way to get that, actually. That's pretty nice. Can we get another one? Should we get another one? I think we should. We have 2 more scintillic. We'll get another one, but we will not go to 8. I think is what we'll do. Yeah, same thing, 2 outlandish artifacts. Is that taking up time? Oh, shoot, that took up time. Blast. I shouldn't have done that. Let's go to the city center here. Last thing that we should do, Mansion of the Jewel Turbaned Youth. It is in the Eastern District. Let's go to that, because he has explicitly offered there, and something about that may be suspect, but I think we'll be okay. Our iron is doing pretty well, so I think we'll be okay if we go there. It is in the Eastern District. Well, he did invite you, after all. At the Mansion of the Jewel Turbaned Youth. You are not entirely sure what you were expecting from the Jewel Turbaned Youth's invitation. Perhaps a candlelit dinner and a genteel seduction. Turns out to be an evening of card games and chilled wine with his rather eclectic collection of friends. As the wine is drunk and the cards are played, the gathering takes on a certain political tone. A raggedly dressed artisan begins complaining of the Agnahotri's trade restrictions. A novice priest points out contradictions in Mihir's mantras. A stone carver questions whether his daughter should also have to fall in the same profession. Will you, the jewel-turbaned youth stares at you, licking his lips, will you tell us a story? So, we can tell them of ourself, a fanciful tale, a wanderer's tale, both of which are checks that we don't have a very good chance of doing. I think since we have less than we basically had a 50% chance or lower of getting them to believe us, let's talk just of ourselves. It doesn't seem like it'll offer them too much. Might be nice to be honest, especially to a group of people you'll never have to meet again. You wet your throat with tart wine and fix your eyes on a carved lintel and begin your own somewhat convoluted tale. At the end, they look slightly dissatisfied, slightly relieved. We were hoping the jewel-turbaned youth clears his throat, that you would tell us, he pitches his voice lower, lies. What? You were hoping that I would tell you lies, huh? You were a little insulted. After all, it's not as if you make a habit of telling strangers of your past. I mean, no insult, he adds placatingly. We only have true stories here in Varkas, and no inventions, no made-up tales. Oh. Okay, well, I guess we'll keep that in mind. Presumably, the next time this has an option. We at least lost some terror there, and gained a memory of distant shores. It seems we no longer have any more time here. So let's return to the city center here. You're finished here for now, but the invitation will remain open. Excellent. So, everything is now closed. Do we leave? Can we leave? Or do we... No, we can't even leave, it looks like. Unless I just close this and leave like that. But, I guess we're going to the inn. At evening, after the 5th bell, each Tomas is assigned a room. The light is endless and merciless. Will you sleep? All visitors to Varkas are given one night's accommodation in the city's only inn. It is a handsome stone mansion arranged around a pleasantly cool courtyard. Frescoes of city life are painted on the walls. Given how few visitors Varkas hosts, you suspect the inn is more usually used by philandering locals. Evening falls, or does it? The town's 5 principal mirrors are mounted on coiled spring mechanisms and alter their angles subtly to create the impression of evening. Around the light, the firekeepers throw pinches of colored powder into the lamps, and the quality of the light yellows to a softer brightness. Ah, that's very nice. So, we can presumably talk to the wine-mazed lamplighter. He is dressed in saffron robes and is indeed pouring wine down the throat of a very attractive dark-eyed boy. You could tell him his sister is out looking for him. We could do that. A favor for her. We can go to the kitchens, which requires a hearts check. We can go to the courtyard. The cushions are arranged around the marble fountain in the middle. Musicians pluck their instruments under the shade of twisted, yellow-leafed trees. We could sleep, though I don't know if that's a good option here. Or not to sleep, which is a challenge. The lack of rest will take its toll. I'm afraid that if we sleep, we will dream, and we were explicitly told not to do that. Let's talk at least to the wine-mazed lamplighter here. We'll do a favor for him from his sister. He's dressed in saffron robes and is indeed pouring wine down the throat of a very attractive dark-eyed boy. You can tell him his sister is looking for him. He starts up in horror, spilling burgundy wine everywhere. His young companion looks irritated. I'm late, he shouts. Me here, forgive me. The Agnihotri is going to skin me alive. He pumps your hand in gratitude. Thank you, Tomas. I won't forget this. Here, take my arc jewels. And we've gained 3 outlandish artifacts. Perfect. Well, that's more than enough to make our shrine, or whatever it was, in our study now. Okay, well, what to do now? We've got one more thing to do before we must sleep or choose not to sleep. We can either go to the kitchens or the courtyard. We've got a sure chance of going through the kitchens, doing whatever is going there. And a slightly lesser, but still very good chance, an 85% chance of doing something in the courtyard. Let's just go to the kitchen. Let's keep it safe here. Smells of cooking mingle with the fungus rot, but you aren't going to let that put you off your food. The inn's cook makes thick, spiced stews of fungus flowers and lotus root, eaten with chunks of boiled cassava and rice imported from inland. But it is the light, hungry fruit grown in the city which makes your mouth water. tart scented oranges and bruised yellow bananas, pineapples bursting with juice, tender coconuts with the silky white flesh scooped out, and sap sweet on the tongue. Do you not eat meat? You ask in wonderment. And the inn's cook calls to me here for strength. It is forbidden to eat the flesh of living creatures, he says. Lucky the Varchazi don't fancy the Z-faring life. Yeah, I was about to say, we do quite a bit of meat eating there. Ah, and it is night, although there is no darkness in Varkas. Time to sleep. So the choice now. Sleep or don't sleep. We've got a fair chance, about a 70% chance, of making it through the night without sleeping. But the lack of rest will take its toll on us. I wonder what effect that will take. But if we do sleep, we have the possibility of menaces, a dream of smoke here getting to us. And I'm kind of worried about that. We've got quite a few menaces as it stands. So let's try not to sleep. It won't be difficult to stay awake in this constant light, but the lack of rest will take its toll. Now, meditative evening. Up late, reading, thinking, watching. The shouts from the street die as Varkas sleeps, but you're tired the next morning. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, we've gained terror. You're kidding. I couldn't even have left? Your permitted time in Varkas is over. Time to go until the next time. Do I have to leave? No. Yes. Dawn in Varkas. Outsider time in Varkas is strictly rationed. Each morning at dawn, the guard visits the inn to eject any Tamas they find. They are polite but very definite. Aw, man. Okay, into the dark. Return, the guard tells you, but not yet. With that, they usher you to into the darkness beyond the walls. You blink, mirror dazzles from your eyes. It's cold out here. We gain some terror from that. Dang. Okay, well, yeah, we can't quite return yet. Presumably, we need our something awaits you. Dang. Okay, well, that was our adventure in Varkas. No shops as of yet, though perhaps one of the options we could have taken in Varkas would have opened that up to us. It seems like a very fully fledged city, so I'd be very surprised if there were no shops whatsoever. Interesting. Well, we've got a location that's basically like outside up in the surface, because they've got the lights sort of mimicking sunlight to some extent. They keep the lights on the entire time, but that's very interesting indeed. Well, it's a good thing to find here. It's a very fully fledged city down there. We'll have to visit more often. For now, I think we'll start sailing directly north, trying to get to Khan's Glory here. It was nice not to have to worry about fuel and supplies for the time being. But it is time to set back out to Z. We are a Zailor, after all, a Z captain. So, it's time to return to our home. Discovered Jack a Dandy Stack. Is that a location? Whoa, what is that? What is that? A jellyfish. Oh, this is like a fully grown one. My goodness, he's got... Ooh, ow. He's got a lot of health. And we do not. Luckily, though, it seems like he's not caught us here. We're going to stay in the light for as long as possible. So I guess that's what a gilliflower is in actuality. That's what it grows up to be. So, what else do they have here at Z for us down in the southeast? Something awaits us back. We've got an island here, just a little one. The mists of the Sea of Autumn get into the eyes, the heart. It's not unusual to find yourself in unsuspected tears. Let's send our Z-Bat out, see if there's anything to be found. Some distance to the east, the Autumn Islands. Oh, that's right by us, actually. Hold on a minute. I don't see any docks here. Melting Isles, some distance to your northwest. I feel like we've come across the Melting Isles before, or at least heard of them. So let's zoom in a little bit. It's a fair bit to our northwest. There's a lot of islands here. Big islands as well. Yeah, so we've discovered the Melting Isles. Is there a port here? Yes, there is. Ah, Mangrove College. That's where we've heard it before. We have a mission from the Admiralty to come here. So, let's see what this place has to say for us. Looks very, very tropical. As tropical as a fungus-covered island can be in the underwater sea, at least. Let's go dock up in here. Mangrove College. The wise and the wicked seek sanctuary here, where the fruits are plenty and the woods wild. First things first, let's check out the shops. Nothing available. Let's check out the college. The Mangrove College, a steaming sprawl of parasynthetic vegetation and a village, barely a village, hold walls, roofs in disrepair, stilts leaning dangerously. Looks to have been assembled by drunks in a hurry. Dock carefully. So we can grab a passenger here. Whoa! Oh my goodness! There's oh, I think these are all from our initial visit to Venderbite. Interesting. So I guess we just have to have done anything in Venderbite here. We could pick up a passenger. The Mangrove College is named for its scholars and philosophers. They have long abandoned civilized comforts for the life of the mind. Sometimes they want those civilized comforts back. Evidently, we need to have not met a checkered character or a shady sort. We can eat, drink, and be merry. The philosophers of the college are not hospitable, but the whole shoreline is bursting with fruit and edible fungus. Reach up and it falls into your hand, pick it up, and it's already fermented. Unfortunately, that will use up our something awaits us. We can gather supplies instead. You don't have time to stop and rest, but you can gather plenty of supplies. The college members will grumble, but there's enough to go around. We can go into the Wispways if we were to have foxfire candles. Unfortunately, we didn't bring anything. It would also cost us supplies. Oh, and this is where solace fruit comes from, perhaps? Hold on a minute. The swamps around the village are full of mud, crocodiles, and vegetable treasures, including the notorious parasite called solace fruit. Solace fruit is a parasite? I thought they were like cherries. What? Oh my goodness. I'm so surprised by that. The fogs and spreading branches occlude all light. Interesting. Unpick the mysteries of other lands. The scholars of the college are hungry for lore. They'll help you put the pieces together. These will convert these items to a secret, memories of distant shores, of which we have plenty, and as well as fragments. Unpick the mysteries of the Sea. Some of the philosophers of the college have grizzled heirs of old sailors, retired mariners, or pirates who've come here to avoid attention. Fortunately, that would use up 7 Z stories. I'm not sure what that would turn it into either. Let's just compile a port report here. Let's not go too far out. We'll do that since that always seems safe. Well, almost always seems to be safe. Sages, scholars, philosophers, naturalists, poets, dreamers, here to pursue their rarefied ideals in a land of muddy fecundity. All shall be well. The thinkers of the Mangrove College continue their untroubled and sedentary existence. New schools of philosophy are born and die like bubbles. Extraordinary poetries are written in water. The occasional retired pirate tries and fails to get invited to salons. Oh, we've completely wiped our hunger from that. That's nice. It gains supplies as well. Wow, that's very nice of them. Now, to make choices. Or rather not. We have to meet our contact from the Admiralty. Meet your contact. An enigmatic gentleman lives a comfortable life in the largest hut. He won't see you without an appointment, but the Admiralty has arranged that appointment. How nice of him. An island of civilization. Once inside the hut, you might imagine yourself back in London. Bright candlelight, thick carpets, a little spotted with damp, even wallpaper similarly spotted. 2 philosophers wait on you both, a little sulkily. The enigmatic gentleman will say nothing until you've both eaten dinner, a fine if eclectic meal, cavern trout, swamp fruits, spices from Adam's Way and Wither, served on Delftware, at a lacquered Ming table. So this is a very well-traveled gentleman. When you're done, he gives you a carefully itemized list of ship sightings, some excellent port, and a little something to take away. Remember me to the Admiral, he says fondly. Remember me to the Admiral. Not sure what that one's about. Oh, and we got muter salt from that. That's actually great. That clears our need to pick up muter salt for the brisk campaigner. The only thing we need now is a docile blemigan for her, since we've got solace fruit already, a strange catch, and now muter salt. So that's actually perfect. Unfortunately, docile blemigan we have no idea where to get. Presumably at the Utter Shroom. Let's see what else is here. We can go beachcombing with our something awaits us. I thought we had something else for the Melting Isles. I really thought we did. Let's look carefully down here. Perhaps it was the solace fruit bit, because it does. She did indicate to us that we could grab solace fruit at the Melting Isles, and I think we just picked it up from somewhere else. Let's see here. Yeah, no, it seems like that's not the case. Well, we've done that for the Admiralty, and we've gained a, what was that? Extraordinary implication? No, strategic information, from it. Unfortunately, right, we need 2 of those to convert that into something more useful, into vital intelligence. Now, our supply situation is doing fairly well, same with fuel. We could pick up this passenger here. I think that'd probably be something we do before we go. But we should do something else here as well. I don't want to convert all our Z stories, so I think we'll do it with a Memory of Distant Shores instead. I assumed that that would convert these Z stories into a secret, perhaps? Maybe. Well, we'll see. This will convert it into a secret, obviously. So we'll just do that since we have an excess of them, quite an excess of them. The scholars of the college are hungry for lore. They'll help you put the pieces together. A dozen strands, a single knot. It all makes sense now, or sense enough at least. So we've gained a secret from that. Now the choice to be made: do we eat, drink, and be merry? Do we gather supplies, or do we go beach combing with our something awaits us here? I think we go beach combing. I think that's the best option here. That probably will tell us more than the other options here. So let's go beach combing. Ships come and go to and from the Mangrove College, often in secret. What might they have flung overboard? Take a stroll along the beach. Perhaps the Z has brought you something. Driftwood, something glinting, or a nasty glob of goo. Let's try something glinting here. Just bottle glass. Just bottle glass. But there's a message on the in the bottle. A page from a journal. The writer has described a debauched afternoon in thrilling detail. Who threw this in the Z? Was it some botched attempt at blackmail or a love affair gone sour? Well, we got some fragments from that at least. Let's go pick up a passenger here. I think that'll be everything we do. I don't want to trade any more of these memories of distant shores here. Let's go pick up a passenger. The Mangrove College is named for its scholars and philosophers. They have long abandoned civilized comforts for the life of the mind. Sometimes they want those civilized comforts back. A shady sort. The Corsair's force, please. Guiders mourn. No, I'm not in a hurry, but I think I might stay below decks. I don't carry the fee on me. You'll have to trust me for it when we arrive. Thank you. A pleasure. A taciturn woman has business in Corsair's forest. I hope this doesn't get me stabbed by those folks, because that is a pirate place, as it stands. And I guess there is no shop at Mangrove College here. Well, it's good to have crossed that off of our list, and we now know where to go to get solace fruit if we do intend on doing that. I think we'll carry on heading north here. keep sending out Z-bats to see if we have anything there. Anything else out there that is of interest to us. Seems not. Ooh. That's a larger ship, though not quite as large as I thought. I want to get a side view on him. Ooh, ow. Before I take him on. I very much doubt. There we go. I'm just going to kind of tail him here. Stay out of his range, if possible. We did suffer a little bit of damage, but not a terrible amount. There we go. So we've destroyed the pirate frigate. Pretty handily, too. We only took a little bit of damage, though we only have a little bit of damage to take before our ship goes down. A few bits of little damage to take, so probably don't want to do that too often. We got some fuel and supplies, as well as a cache here, so that's always good. And we got some more fuel from that. Cool. Well, that's very nice. Let's see. What else is there? Looks like there's an island down here. I would like to clear the vision on that. Swallowing Isles is some distance to your east. Wait a minute. That is also a very distinct name. Is there a different Mangrove College there? I want to check that out. Swallowing Isles. Maybe it's a different name for a very close location. Whoa, that's a massive blue crab. So I think we'll not explore that at the moment. I think that's a different name for the same location. I think that's just a different option here. What is that? These are fungi. Ah! Yes, the water is sluggish with hyphal threads. Violet vegetable bulks break the surface myceligae. So we found the udder shroom. Perfect. We can go and deliver our, let's see, our jar of tether to our contact there. And I believe, yep, we're good. Okay. Had to clench my teeth for a second there. This is all above, I believe that this is all above the water, so we're actually under the udder shroom at the moment. So maybe we can grab some docile beckons here. Udder shroom, the queenly core of the spore-haunted sea. Climb the fungal fiber ladders to its summit. Shaggy, suspicious villagers scratch a living here amidst endless clouds of spores and scurrying mobs of plant-animal hybrids. None of them ever leave. Monsters, one explains darkly. Z, full of monsters. Alright, so. We can consume the jar full of tether. We've already done that once, but I don't think that's an option here. So I think we'll give it to him. I don't think consuming it in front of the severe chemist would be a good idea here. Let's give the severe chemist the jar full of tether. Brought all the way from Rack, the chemist promised you a handsome reward. He smiles at you over his teacup. He does not drink. I commend you. Several other interesting adventurers wilted and died before you in this endeavor. He hands you a check, drains his cup in a gulp, and is soon on his own ship. Wow. Woo! We gained quite a bit for that. 1,250 echo. Wow. That's fantastic. Let's go grab, the port report here. What happens here on top of a mushroom the size of Marlborough? A slow survey. The villagers live a shabby but sufficient life. The udder shroom provides. They are secretive, taciturn, incurious. Ships rarely visit. Right, they love this place really well, so they don't want to head out for any reason. We could trade our live catch here, but I don't really want to do that since we've only got the one. A mist of spores rises in the distance. What was it the old zailors say? Give a catch to the udder shroom and you'll get, what was it, luck, life? Let's find out. Oh, and we've got the Blemmigan Gallivanter, which we can encourage to explore here. You might feel a kinship with the place. It's certainly very mushroomy. Unaccustomed silence. Your ever-present Blemmigan is for once nowhere to be seen. The engine room is quiet. Your maps are exactly as you left them. Not one is defaced or crumpled into a ball. Finally, you spot the tip of a tendril poking out from under the pile of unwashed clothing. Your Blemmigan indicates that under no circumstance whatsoever will it be emerging. What could be so bad about the udder shroom? Did the other mushrooms bully it? Yeah, we had that happen the last time we were here, so I didn't really expect anything to change. I did expect to get a docile Blemigan, though, from the location. Let's see if we can find one if we visit the village here with our something awaits us. Hospitable. Not exactly, but they usually don't chase you off with sticks, and they usually let you sit behind their mildew-smelling fire. A day of stories, the central contradiction of a shroomer existence. They hate the utter shroom, but they do anything to avoid leaving. Monsters. Today they're telling a story of how they came here. It features a shipwreck, a rain of orange jewels, the mother's blessing. There's a great deal about adversity and survival, and wistful hints about their homeland, somewhere to the west. Interesting. I think we got a memory of distant shores for that. I did forget to check there. Well, shoot. No shop to speak of, and I can't seem to find a way to get a docile Blemigan. Perhaps it is with this firkin of prisoner's honey here. There have been quite a few locations where a docile Blemigan has been an option. So maybe writing that down would be a good idea here. Yeah, I think writing that down as a quest to undertake is a good idea. So we need a firkin of prisoner's honey, is that it? Yes. To be brought to the udder shroom. Firkin of prisoner's honey. Perhaps that'll get us a docile Blemigan for trade. It's a shame that our Blemigan doesn't want to go exploring. I wonder what that's all about. We can't exactly talk to him, I think. Can we? Oh, we actually can talk to him. Entertain your Blemigan. You can see the indentation of a porthole on the rim of its cap. It must have been pressing its face to the windows again. Is it bored? A ticklish thing. The Blemigan flails and squirms as you tickle it. Its high-pitched warble is almost certainly giggling. When you stop to check that you're not actually hurting it, it wraps its tendrils around your fingertips and pulls your hand back. Apparently, it is enjoying itself. So yeah, I think it's essentially a cat or a dog, a pet of some kind. Oh, the shady sort is actually taking up space here in our cargo hold. That's unfortunate. That said, that's kind of all we can do at the udder shroom here. We at least got that really good payout. We're above 2,000 echoes now, which isn't enough to get us to that next ship that we were hoping for, but it is a significant increase on what we usually get upon returning. We've never had a quest give out quite that much before, so this is great. That's all we can do with the udder shroom. Oops, not the option I selected here. There's not a whole lot other than that. We'll sit in the fog on our way up. Somehow we've crossed to the udder shroom without clearing out this blank space, so that's kind of odd. The wreck of the Miko as well. Not sure what to do about that. Maybe that's something to be done underwater, but our terror is above 50, so that's not something we'll do now. We'll stop off at Aeshaven, if only to grab the port report. We'll kind of wander through to there in this blank out section. Then we'll head to Khan's Glory and then Irem, I think. And then on the way back, perhaps we drop off at Nuncio to grab the port report there. I think we've sort of figured out what was happening at Nuncio. There was the big cavern with... What was happening at Nuncio? We did go down there. We spent our foxfire candles and our flare there. So, there was something interesting, but evidently not enough to be recalled. We got something big from there, I'm pretty sure. We'll stop off there. Maybe in Nook. Can't quite remember what Nook was. I think that was the undersea location that was a giant mouth. Maybe not stop off there. But we will go to Guider's Morn. Oh, you know what? We'll head from Nuncio to Port Cecil. We'll see if we can get some chests done without setting off our terror too high. But yeah, we'll do that. So first steps first, let's head on north here. North and a little east. so we can clear out some of that dark area. Head to Khan's Glory. Khan's Shadow first, or Aeshaven first, then Khan's Shadow, because it'll be further south than Khan's Glory. And drop off this this dark drop coffee. Alrighty, just a whole lot of ocean here so far. Ooh, there's a big continent to our right here. Discovered Obey and Commingle. You hear those stories that will not be drowned. This is the sea of voices where we're close to Polythreme, where nothing is truly dead. Ah, this is Polythreme. Okay, the music's kind of spooky, and it looks like those are giant teeth on the island, like a giant jawbone of something. I'm very hesitant about this. Oh my goodness. All those names are... Oh my goodness. All these names are terrifying, and the music is not helping, and that artwork isn't great either. Polythreme, here is screaming. What? What? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it's got a shop. We'll write that down first. Polythreme, buy, sell. Temple of Labors, bring material. Wow, that is very uncomfortable indeed. Doesn't have a few, too many options here. So we are in Polythreme. There's Stygian Ivory. We can sell it. And it sells for 30 Echo. Can't recall quite what it sells, or is purchased at, but I think that's a fair amount for it. We can also sell Casket of Sapphires here. For 95 Echo. A fair profit to be made. Judgment's Egg. We got this, and it was very rare from the chat then. In the chat here, hello, fellow. Please don't sell egg. Yeah, don't worry. I won't sell the egg here. We'll just mark it down. Judgment's Egg. Sells for 600 echoes. My goodness. This is a very valuable object indeed. And we can buy and sell We Are Clay, which is an attachment. We can put on our ship in the auxiliary slot? Yes, the auxiliary slot. So we can buy that for 300 Echo. It sells for 150 if we ever need to sell it. And what it does is that it increases engine power a little, but it does remove quarter by 3 spots. And increases our iron by 5. This trio of clay stokers will reduce crew requirements, but also crew capacity, and will slightly increase engine power. They are fitted to an auxiliary slot. When they are not in use, they will stand patiently, hands by their sides, flat, a gray eyes unreadable. One will say sometimes, I like it when it is quiet. Buy clay will give you full crew at the moment. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I thought that they had just done that. I thought that they were just going to increase the engine power and stuff at cost of quarters. But if they count as crew capacity, that's actually really good. And we've got the perfect amount of crew at the moment to do that. So I think I will absolutely buy that and equip it. Our current equip gives us 7 to hearts, but our hearts is already at 50. So I think that's all right. Let's check out our hold here. There are our claymen. Now we just have to keep these sitting in our hold for some reason. Can I really not drop this off in my lovely, lovely mansion, what I purchased? Can't believe it. I might send the anatomical cabinet down the line if I am able to when I get back to London. I don't like the fact that these are sitting in our inventory for so long, just taking up space. Buy clay will give you full crew at the moment. You can sell them for 300 in London. I don't think I'll sell them. If the benefits that they give are as good as they state, they seem like a really good option. And I don't want to sell them for 300 because that would be exactly what I purchased them for anyway. You can sell them at certain ports for good money. Oh, okay. So maybe if there's a better option and we happen to be close by polythreme, maybe that'll be a better option there. But now that we've got all of our business finished with these shops, let's go check out polythreme as it be. Taciturn clay men, evasive clothes colonies, walking like humans, cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that writhes like buried bones in an earthquake. Oh, we can gain the sharpness we got at Antha, apparently. Enough time in polythreme and your sharpness will dissolve back to flesh. This will not change your capacity for sharpness or remove any permanent Anthean advantage you may carry. I can't recall exactly what the sharpness did. I think we got sharpness of the spleen to talk to the lady there. Going south, that heart thing will sell for 1,200. Yeah, I did see that we could sell the shrine for stone down there, but I can't recall what it was we used to craft it in the first place, and I'm afraid that it'll be quite costly to get another one, and we do need all of these for the Zong of the Z, which we are ultimately going to go for. I doubt we'll get that all in one life, but, you know, in the event that we do, hey, there we go. Captivating treasures. Okay, I see. Captivating treasures, if I recall correctly, let me check that out here. Was that something we could get from Irem? Because I do believe we got a something from Irem. No, you could sell captivating treasures at Irem. You couldn't actually get it, unfortunately. And I do remember getting that was kind of difficult. We got it from some random drop somewhere, some random event. So I think selling that would be a poor solution because I don't believe I can get it back very easily with my current knowledge of the Z economy. We can grab the port report. That's probably a safe check here, or a safe bet. Gather intelligence. What news from Polythreme? The city cries out. Roads royal, bricks quiver. The windows of all the buildings flash like eyes. The palace above the city swells and roars. This convulsion is how clay men are born. Even now, somewhere below, they open their blind, seeming gray eyes. Oh, we gained some terror from that. Take candles to the Mangrove College for nice things and death, maybe. Yeah, no, I think we'll be good there. I think death is probably it's not one of the greatest things I'm looking for at the moment. We could get shore leave, which will reduce some terror. Probably not very much though. Carry claymen to cargo, or to London as cargo. Ooh, that might be a good money-making scheme. Because if the description of claymen is that they sell for 300 in London, as explained by the chat here, then 6 claymen, they do take up the cargo space. But ooh, very interesting. That could be a very nice money-making scheme, and we do currently have the room for it, though it'll severely decrease our ability to carry fuel and supplies. I suppose we are going to deliver all these dark drop coffee beans in Khan's glory anyway, as well as Irem. So yeah, let's go pick them up. I think that's a good solution. Sorry, I'm late. What's been going on? We've expanded. We've sailed around the map here. We've cleared out the south area. Varkas is a city of mirrors. We found the melting isles, which is apparently where solace fruit comes from, as well as the utter shroom, where we made quite a bit of money from our quest there, from the severe chemist. And now we're at Polythreme, where we have picked up a clayman, or no, a we are clay, which we are about to, and we are about to grab some claymen to deliver to London. Claymen, or perhaps an unfinished man, which we'll deliver to London. Wasn't that the same dude you refused to kill before for the cigar? Same type of dude? I can't quite recall what you're referencing? Most likely, no, because there are clay men. Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the crotchety tobacconist. Yes, I did refuse to kill a clay man there. Um, so yeah, I guess they come from here. Interesting. We'll pick up the clay men to go to cargo to London. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable, just unless one turns out to be an unfinished man. They troop aboard. Each one lies down in its appointed position next to the others, nested snugly, head by foot. We are for London, one explains to you. So, we've got those now. Sweet. Do we spend some echo for shore leave? Hold on a moment. Why have we dropped an echo? Ah, right, because we bought the We Are Clay benefit here. Suppose we could spend 30 echoes on shore leave. I think that would be okay. We are at a bit of terror, and we do have quite a ways to go from place to place, so I think it's probably a good idea to reduce some terror. Let's do a little bit of shore leave. Drink beer that wails from cups that sob, if you like that sort of thing. Okay, as expected, not very much, but it was only 30 echo. An uneasy respite. Under other circumstances, your crew might have been happier. Well. Now, should we cure our sharpness? We've only got sharpness of the spleen. I don't know what that sharpness does. We are just, like, not human at that point. We have something going on there. I don't know what it's done to us, because it doesn't seem like it's affected us negatively in any way. Maybe it's just because we haven't had enough sharpness for it to really take hold. We did kind of refuse to make our, was it tongue, eyes, just a few things sharp, because we were worried about that. Though now that we know this location, perhaps we won't. I think we'll leave our sharpness for now. I think we've done pretty much everything we can here. We've picked up a delivery to make. So I think we'll set out from Polythreme and head kind of a safer direction where we know where everything is. It was less spooky than I thought it would be around here. I really thought that it would be a concerning location, but it turns out that the very literal seeming names just happen to be like the claymen shouting. Exactly. They seem like very humorless, very, I would say wooden, but it'd probably be closer to mean stone people. And the creepy underwater skulls that move are back there. Oh boy. Tides of appetite. Okay. Okay then. Just gonna sail around that. Godfall is apparently on the other side of Aeshaven. God, those faces are creepy on the bottom of the oceans here. Those faces are really, really, really creepy. But we're at Aeshaven now. Oh, and there's something else in the water. Ah, ship. But luckily we'll dock before he'll be able to do anything to us. Now, I can't remember. Yeah, there's no shop at Aeshaven. We're getting a little low on fuel, but I think we should be able to buy in Khan's Glory if we want to spend out an arm and a leg. Or, more likely, grab some at Frosthaven? Frostfound, that's the one. Frostfound or Irem. We can grab some fuel there at a okay price. Not a great price, but we'll be able to have fuel at the very least. And honestly, maybe the Chelinet. See if I can find their prices there. No, Chelinet doesn't seem to have any good fuel purchasing prices. Oh, Con Shadow, actually. Fuel for 15 and supplies for 25, so they're actually splitting the difference there. That's probably a better shot than any of those other locations. We get them for free, and Frost found it if we select the correct option there, which is to just have tea with the folks. So we'll go grab it at Khan's Shadow, and then we'll head into Khan's Glory and do all the stuff there. So, in Godfall, what shall we do? Go grab the port report of shouting. Anything else we could do here? No, we don't have casks of mushroom wine, and we don't have a hunting trophy either. And we don't have the foxfire candles to explore the Shattered Citadel. So I think we will wait for this fellow to pass and set off turning our lights off immediately. We'll head across to Khan's Shadow here. Oh, you're kidding? He's found us? No. No, okay, he has not. Maybe he has. He can kind of run as fast as we can. So we can't really afford to travel with our lights on, even though our terror is so high. Terror is getting a little higher than I'd like. Okay, I think he's lost us properly. There we go. There's Khan's Shadow. Well, let's go dock here. We'll go grab the port report. So many malcontents, so little time. And, oh, I guess nothing to do about that. Ah, right, we could trade the hunting trophy here or something. Or trade an element of dawn for a doomed monster hunter here. But neither of those are going to be things that we will do. We won't purchase anything other than fuel, I think. Do we sell an outlandish artifact? I think not. Ooh, we could buy a captive. Oh, no, we can't. We will absolutely not buy a captivating treasure. That costs 1,500 echoes. No way in heck are we doing that. We'll just buy up our fuel. I think our supplies are actually doing really well. In all the time that we've set out from Fallen London, we've only dropped like a little bit, or set out from Port Carnelian, we've only dropped barely any supplies at all. So I think we're good right now. We'll just buy up fuel. Honestly, just a max, maybe? No, we'll buy to 12. That'll leave some space here if we happen to pick up anything on the way. And in terms of other things, I think we will not partake. We'll just set off from here up to Khan's Heart and Khan's Glory. We've got to be careful here not to get too suspect, not to be too suspicious, because we are getting up there. We'll double check before we try to insert our agent into Khan's Heart what the maximum amount of suspicion is. Before we try to insert our diplomatic agent here. We can lure another adventurer to Rack. Sure, why not? Seek a commercial license, right? We need the ring there, so we need to bribe that. We will not take time in the tea house. That will do terribly. Could wander. No more than 19. So if we had 19, that we would not do that. Not going to purchase fuel or supplies for their absurd price. Do we gather the port report? 37% chance. I think not on the port report, but we will try to get our spy in here since we've got a little bit more to go, a little bit more suspicion. Finally, it's success. So we've established a spy in Khan's Heart. If you're caught, it'll mean trouble. If you're successful, you can tap your network later for the intelligence. Dark Spectacle Admiral and the Voracious Diplomat, among others, will be interested. Your agent sends a message via bat courier. They have found lodgings, contacts, and possibilities. So we now have a nervous informer network in the Khan's Heart. Perfect. So, can we do anything here quite yet? Let's see if we can improve our spies situation here, since they're just struggling on the edge here. Cunning. This will need your personal attention, and we've got a 100% chance of success there, so of course we're absolutely going to do that. Your cunning is required. This will need your personal attention. A craftsman. If you ever want to retire from sailoring, offers 1 spy. You've found your niche. Perhaps it's flattery, but you've done well tonight. We've gained a move in the great game. We've increased our network safety. Got cautious contacts now. And that'll be that. Can we do something else for them? Prisoner's honey. Sadly, no. But we can keep that in mind for later. Now, no shops available yet. Nothing else to do here, I don't believe. Except for sending our fellow to Rack here. A London captain smokes a Caganian pipe as she admires the reflection of the street lamps in the water. Spin her a story of lights. Let's send you over to Rack. Do we need to send people over to Rack anymore? Earlier we were doing it to get closer to the guy there. Now we just eat the tether, which tells us something. I really don't know what that tether is doing. I suppose it's not really doing harm to us yet. Let's send the adventurer over to Rack. You sidle beside her and comment on the water. It's beautiful how the city ripples, isn't it? It reminds you of a port that you once came across, you say. A place where they light their way with colored fire and dine on fish-fed flowers. She need only find the red and white lights beneath the waves. The captain huffs, blue smoke streams through her nose. She dumps her ash into the water and sets off for the docks without another word. She'll be sailing over Rack in no time. So we've got at least that done. Maybe we'll listen to the storyteller? Yeah, you know what? We'll listen to the storyteller because we... Well... We'll test out the port report first. See if we can grab that. Success. Con A generally assumes that all foreigners are spies or worse. It would be a shame to disappoint them, but it might be dangerous to prove them right. Precious scraps. Rivalry between the leopard and eagle clans. The concerns about the Chelonate raids. Some appalling gossip about the traitor empress back in London. Perhaps you shouldn't write that last one down and move on quickly. That fellow in the corner has an informer's look. So we've gained a port report successfully now. A menace as well. Oh, your movements in the Khanate may be curtailed. Uh-oh. Okay, so there was actually a midway issue here. So I think we won't do anything else here in the Khanate. We'll just set off to Khan's Glory and deliver that mushroom wine. Or deliver the dark drop coffee beans, rather, not mushroom wine. Try keeping our light off here since we are right by shore. We'll just turn it on so we don't gain another bit of terror. We'll let that settle down here. Okay, Khan's Glory. Let's go offer a gift to the leopard. The royal clan of the Khan. The Khan himself has a notorious weakness for coffee, and his court follows suit. Meet with an effusive official in a room of blue glass and pierced porcelain. You supply the customary compliments and courtesies while he nods complacently. Finally, you present a sample of coffee. The official suddenly comes awake, inhales the scent of coffee, glances regretfully at the porcelain screen behind him, a watcher. He bows to you 3 times and sends you on his way. We've got 3 favor leopard's condescension here. And yeah, we do need 5, unfortunately. And I don't think we will be cruising past anything at the moment. Our suspicion is getting a little too high for me to be comfortable with that. So let's go and set off to Frostfound. Frostfound and Bright. Still haven't determined what those other locations are in Frostfound. We haven't gone in the castle, but it has told us that we shouldn't be unless we've got a very explicit reason for doing so. So it's a good idea to keep away from that. Yeah, there we go, and it's right across the way here for Frostfound to get to. So we'll go settle down here. We haven't used up our something awaits us, so we can use it here to take tea with the squatters at the dock here. We'll go grab, lovely, our supplies and our fuel. Oh, and we've lost terror as well. I forget about that. So that is perfect for our intentions. Go grab the port report as well. And I think that's just about everything we can and should do here. So let's go and set off for Irem. Now Irem shouldn't be too far. And then after Irem, perhaps we'll go to the Gant Pole and the Chelinet before heading across back east, or back west, rather. We will have to worry about fuel and what such, though, because we are getting a little low on that. I'm surprised how much fuel we're actually taking up here. So the Chelinet itself does not offer fuel. Can't seem to see any location for the Gant Pole, any shop information there. So it may be a poor decision to go down there unless we stock up on fuel here first. Now, we'll go grab the port report. It'll be exceptionally confusing because it's all taking place in the future. Could sacrifice our lamentable relic, though I think we will not. Let's go to the House of the Amber Sky, though. Rest, traveler, our waters are warm, our cushions are petal soft. Lay your head here, you will be healed, or better yet, you will be renewed. Payment and coffee, yes please. So, let's go close our eyes. The House of the Amber Sky is a roofless space beneath the false stars of the Neath, rich with the scent of Irem roses. Despite its ice, it's as warm as a desert evening. You will arrange yourself on the cushions. Close your eyes for just a moment. Where will we go? So, we can seek the glory's story. Rest, recover, and dream with our something awaits us. Try to find a rare fruit? No, perhaps cure the wound if we were to have it. That's why it's locked away. Or spend our searing enigma. It's definitely not that, but to find a rarest fruit. In the farthest south, in the arms of a god called Stone, a garden blooms. In ages past, birds stole seeds from that garden. One bird hid here in the mirror marches. Perhaps you know the story. I don't think we went for this last time, and I don't know if it was even here. Interesting. I think we'll actually go with this one instead. Seek the hunter's glory. The glory's story. Yeah, the glory's story. A hunter will wait beside a fallen stone with a splintered spear. He will beckon you. There is a place, he will say, where I sent my enemies. What you want is there. Be ready to join it. There is the path. Above the path, the sky cools to the cracked orange of old lava. The Wasswood. A blackened cliff falls away at your feet. In the glen below, a white wood of leafless trees awaits you. This is the Waswood. Maybe the Waswood. Okay, yeah, the Waswood. All things within are gone forever, and all things that are gone forever lie within. Interesting. You are learning the Waswood's silent paths. Increase this to 7 to find what you seek. What do I seek? Interesting. You sought the Council of the Dead. In this place, the dead might be guides. The Council of the Dead will give you wounds, but it will bring you closer to your quest's end. That costs us a lamentable relic. That we do have 2. Or we could just walk the Wuzzwood. All things within are gone forever, and all things that are gone forever lie within. When you walked its paths, you knew you might join them. Which we can only do if we have no wounds. We've only got a 30% chance of that. I think we'll risk the wounds more. And just seek the Council of the Dead here. So it'll bring us closer to your quest's end. The dead were not loquacious. Left, the relic rattled. Left, on, across the empty stream, past the stone post marked with white. But when you looked for further counsel, it was silent, and you cast it aside. Your hand shook, your eyes were bleared, as if with age or sleep. Now you knew a little more of the paths. Alright, we lost the lamentable relic. We've gained another day where the wood was new. Or, no, where the wood was. New, total 3. And we've got a wound. I will not do another one because at 3 wounds we will die, and that seems a very poor idea. Yeah, I don't think we'll get that. We'll get that wound any higher. And that didn't seem to increase our ability to walk the Wuzzwood. Maybe rare fruit. No, I don't want to do the rarest fruit because it... Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, I see. So that costs Z stories, and then that'll trade. We could cure the wound immediately. I don't think we will. We might be able to do that in Fallen London. I want to see what the rest recovered dream was. I think we did that last time, perhaps. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll skip this. Well, it's only 1 Z story, and we do have 7. Yes. Yes. Here in the Mirror Marshes, those who are wounded can sometimes find solace, or so the story has it. Sure, we'll do that. Oh, we gained another solace fruit for that. Cool. Totally fine. A dying tree. Solace fruits are parasites, delicious poisonous parasites. These solace fruit made their home on a mahogany tree, from which they have assiduously sucked the life. The tree is a cracked remnant. The solace fruit blooms like dew. That's absolutely a worthwhile trade. Do we buy lamentable relics here? I think not. Could buy a watchful curio. They do value that in polythreme. There was an option there if we had purchased one. But I don't think we'll be going back down there anytime soon. Could buy a bale of parabola linen. Let's see. I want to even out our bits here. Maybe not. I wanted to even out to see if we could get everything to be even, sort of, here, but I think that doing that would be a no-go, no matter what. And none of these are more important than the other ones, really. So I think we'll just buy up some fuel. I think we'll buy, let's say, up to 10 fuel? Well, I suppose that is based on whether or not we can get fuel. I suppose we'll be going back across here to Khan's Shadow before we head to to Port Cecil here. And Port Cecil itself, let's check the economy. Is that on this page? No, it seems not. Nuncio does have fuel stores for the same price. And Khan's Shadow has them for cheaper. Let's see what Nuncio has. Nothing at all, I don't think. So I think we should be good to wait out. Going down to the Gaunt Pole, the Chelinet, then down, across here through the darkness that we haven't explored yet, over to Port Cecil, then Guiders Moor to drop off our passenger there. I think we should be good if we purchase over at Con Shadow. So we'll go and set off. Nothing else to do in Irem. Eight fuel should hopefully be enough for us here. We'll set back into the seas full of bones of giant leviathans underwater. God, that creeps me out to just an absurd degree. Like, I don't know what something about that. It's really creepy. The fact that there are creatures that big, the fact that the bones are there. Whoa, what is that? Lauren Fluke. Nope. Lamp off. You have way more health than I want to deal with. Luckily, he's in the fog and I am outside. Oh, has he seen me? He's turned around. I think we're good. Shabbleport is here for the Gant Pole. Now we did get a quest from here to go and like do something in the Gant Pole. I think hunt a creature, get some. What was it, meat? I think it was meat, but spelled incorrectly. From this fellow. No, from just somewhere in the Chelanet. But I do not want to go under, especially not right now with our terror above that. Stygian ivory, very, very cheap here if we do need that at any point. But I think we might just grab that port report and do nothing else in the meantime. No sales, no purchases. We'll just go and set off immediately again. Down to the Chelanet proper. Wait, no. Hold on. There's a dock in the Gant Pole. Oh, there's a dock underwater, right. And that is someplace that we will not be going because with our terror, that constant companion is going to be right by us, and that is not something that I want to deal with at the moment. We've gotten very far. We don't have much fuel or supply to go and outrun it. So I think we will absolutely avoid that for the moment. Con Shadow, surprisingly close. We'll go dock here. We'll pick up our fuel. Maybe a bit of supply as well, actually. Better to have more than we need than run out in the middle of the ocean again. Especially as we don't have a flare since we used it in Nuncio, previously exploring that cavern. Let's see, let's get... 10 fuel? I think that might be enough. And let's buy up to... You know, let's be safe here. We've got a bit of excess echo. Love the top item. Yeah, I found that very funny when I started writing down my my shop options here. I'm not sure what it has, where you'd even get that. But hey, if we ever have it and we need to sell it, we've got it here. I think we'll get up to 7 supply, and 12 fuel. And that'll be our lot here to get across the sea. Z, I suppose it will be. Oh, you know what? I should also have checked. Anything new here? No, I didn't think so. Okay, so down to Port Cecil. dream snakes, though. I wonder where the heck you get dream snakes. That must be something from sleeping down in Varkas, because they did warn you not to sleep, and it does seem very sort of jungly down there. Very angry dream snakes might be one of Varkas's things. And at some point we will need to check out the abysses and whatnot. Uh-oh. Who has seen us? Oh, a cruiser. That's actually very bad. He's got... Oh, he's got plenty of speed and an unfortunate amount of firepower as well. Okay, luckily he's missed, though. Unfortunately, his flares are going to let him keep up with me. As long as we keep speeding forward, hopefully... Oh, has he given up on us? I think he has. Okay, we're good. Uh-oh. Sleep when you're dead. You're hurt. You should really be in bed. That'll take up some supply. Oh, so, okay, so having a wound is a little worse than I thought. You're hurt. You should really be in bed. So we can either spend time in bed, which will consume some supplies, or we can just tough it out, which will reduce terror a little bit, but could injure us. I think since we've got a wound to spare, we'll tough it out. It's nice that that'll reduce terror here. I just really don't want to use up one of our supplies here. So let's tough it out. Stuff and nonsense. March around the deck shouting courageously. Zailors are basically impressed by buccaneering machismo, except sometimes when buccaneering machismo kills their captain stone dead. On this occasion, you are not dead. Hold on, I could just die? I just straight up die from that? Whoa. Whoa now. Okay. That was way worse than I thought it would be. Oh, there's a bloody eel to our south. We will sneakily head this way, if only because there's a map here. Ooh, does he see us? Ah, I'm worried. I'm very worried. No, I think we're good. Okay. We'll go dock in Port Cecil. And play some chess. We'll play chess until our terror gets to 70. Because we do want the Apossian piece, which we can get from here. Now, first things first, we'll go pick up our port report. We still don't have the docile Blemigan to go and set here. We could go gather Centilic. We've got a very low chance of that, and I think we've got Centilic enough, right? We just got the one. Tell you what, if we lose in 3 games or less, actually no, since the 55% chance. If we lose in 1 game, then we'll go and grab Centilic as a way to let off some steam. So let's go play some chess. Chess is popular in the Principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up Z traders. They all play, often obsessively. Be careful, the chess pieces are carved from Centilic here in the Principles. That can be very dangerous. Not sure what that exactly means in terms of it being dangerous, but we'll give it a shot. Dang, another loss. Your opponent shakes your hands. Time to go, she tells you. Don't worry, you'll be back. Her touch lingers, her fingers are cold. Oh, that only gave us 1. Okay, so we'll play till 65 in that case. Give it another go. Dang, another loss. Ah. Oh, no. Oh, that gave us 5 terror. Okay. You don't often look at the chess pieces, not really look. The bishops with their hooks, the knight with its mane and teeth, the kin and the cream, white mingled with red, the roots that pin the corner of the board down to keep you safe from your opponent. You lift a paw to toy with it, you touch its velvety pads. Checkmate, your opponent says. She grins. Look too closely, did we? You need to be careful with Centilic chess sets. Her face is blank and white as the dome of a chess pawn. Get out. Get back to the ship until the waking dream of the coral clears. So I guess we only have 3 chances before we look too closely at our pieces here. Before that happens. Before it gives us a nightmare jump. Or maybe it's just a random chance on how many you have before that happens. But I will not risk it again, since that will definitely result in something negative going on. So let's go grab some Centillic. Let's go try it. Fragments of silver. Where the Z washes across the coral's edge, it glows a rich purple. Each time it washes across your boots, you expect it to leave stains. You edge along the slippery coral, picking up lumps of brighter glowing stuff here and there. Though the Z doesn't stain, eventually it begins to whisper to you. Phrases so clear you catch yourself looking over your shoulder in case your crew have spoken. They have not. They're looking around just as you are. Between the stars, the Z says, descend the chain. When it runs out across the coral, it sounds almost like a soft chuckle. I rest here, it tells you. I forget. Oh, we succeeded. That was the success? What? That was super creepy, and I thought for sure that would be a failure. I suppose I should have read this more carefully. Gathers and sell like the best of the coral will fetch a high price in London, but walk the reefs of the principles, and you risk delusion and despair. I guess this was the delusion part. Take your crew and go carefully. We've gathered 2 Centillic and 7 terror. Okay, we're at 74. That's a little too much terror. We have got to get back and right the heck out of here. Do we buy any fuel? No, I think not. I think we'll be good. Supplies, identically so. Let's go on and set out here. We'll keep our lights on as much as we're able to, considering our terror levels at this point. Luckily for us, Guider's Morn is right across the way here. So we should be able to get off here, get our passenger off without issue. Turn off the lights while we're here, since we have the light of that taking care of us anyway. Turn the ship just a wee bit. And dock or here in Guider's Morn. Oh shoot, we don't have our something awaits us though. As expected, prices here are horrible. They're just absolutely horrific. We don't need to conceal contraband at the moment. We haven't been doing anything about that, with that. So let's check here in Guider's Morn. Here it is. Drop off the shady sort. She inhales the air and smiles, perhaps for the first time. As I remember it, she remarks, less mud, more rum. So, what will you get us? Business concluded. At the winch head, a deferential fellow and Fustian, wait, I assume that's color? Maybe a type of fabric? He bows to the shady sort. A pleasure as ever. You he barely favors with a glance. He presses a heavy purse into your hand. Small coins stained with salt water, but together they amount to a tidy sum. Okay, 120 echoes. That's not bad. It's pretty good. We'll try and gather intelligence. We got a 50-50 chance of it. We got Sailor's Despair now. Oops. A dislike of spies. You and one of your more villainous-looking zailors join in a dice game. Villainous looking, but you know for a fact that she tithes to charity and has a delightful singing voice. The topic turns promisingly to pillage and ambush, but your zailor is a little too forward with her questions. There's a scuffle and a stabbing. You escape. She does not. Oh, why is it always the good ones that die? I was about to say loss gains terror. Oops. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of terror. That is not good. That's a not good amount of terror right there. Well, at least we got the port report. I always feel bad when this fails, though, because it's always the nice one that dies. Which, I guess, kind of makes sense. Just zoom back to London. I will. I'll make my way over there. It's not too terribly high at the moment, and if we find any Z creatures we can blow up, it'll reduce that as well. I think even if we don't ever find that, with our lights on, we should be able to sail there without it going above, without it hitting 100 and having a mutiny occur. If you get mutinied, then I will laugh. It will also be sad, but mostly laugh. It will. I have very carefully measured this out. It should not hit a mutiny, knock on wood, but all I've got is paper, so that'll have to be close enough. Paper's basically wood. It's the ghost of wood. Any more rumors of the pirate poet here? I've already heard it. Yeah, nothing new in that. Still have no idea what she is. I mean, bad things can happen with terror above 50. Events occur, but not just bad things. Like off the bat, you get to choose what events occur, like random events. Yeah, but I think we should be okay. We have nothing awaiting us here, so I think spending time at the Errant Limpet is just a way to lose more sailors, which I don't want to do. So we'll go and set out here. Do we head to Rack? Could check in there. Maybe we just hit the Salt Lions. Oh yeah, we don't want to go to Wreck because we have that much terror, which means the Constant Companion's going to be shadowing us right now. We'll just head to the Salt Lions and then back to Fallen London. Okay, let's set off. Oh, oops. Okay, you know how you were saying that bad random events could happen? Turns out you were totally right. Roused at midnight. As the first watch ends, shouts forward rouse you. Your bosun's face is grim as you emerge from your cabin. We lost one. Weighted himself down with pans and gave himself to the deeps. Took cook's best kettle, too. Morale is worsening, Captain. We can address the crew. Remind that all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, if only they have courage, which we've only got a 30% chance of doing. We could bribe them with an extra rum ration, or place a guard on the cookware. You know, we've got enough supplies to make it back. I think we'll be good for supplies. I'm more worried about fuel. So we'll do that. Zailors are rarely ungrateful for grog. Let's do it. Well, we lost. Unfortunately, we did lose a bit of crew. But we've bribed them with liquid comfort. It hasn't helped with discipline, but the mood aboard is perceptibly better. All right, keep turning here. You did indeed tell me so, but we handled it adequately. And since we have those claymen, we're still, what, 2-3 people over what our minimum requirements is, since our claymen are taking care with, or the We Are Clay that we've got equipped is taking care of our crew requirements there. I think we're doing great. Aren't they just cargo? No, so the claymen are cargo, but we've actually got, we purchased We Are Clay, which is equipable to our auxiliary slot here. They take up crew quarters, which is why we are now at 7 instead of 10 max crew. But they give us 250 engine power, iron of 5, and they decrease the amount of crew required to run at full speed, presumably down to 2, since there are 3 quarters taken up. Yeah, no, it's just a really good time for them. It just gives us a lot of benefits there. So we have more room to work with our crew, to utilize our crew as assets instead of, you know, people, as one does. So yeah, it doesn't look like we've actually seen whatever this abyss is. So let's go take a look at it. Oh, no, we totally have Wilbert's Abyss. Assets, aka cannon fodder. Yes, that is correct. That is a correct way of putting it. Tiny breeze stirs your hair and dies. Dude, go back to London. I am going back to London. It is happening. It's just going a little slow. This is the salt line is exactly, the salt lions in this playthrough are exactly in line with London. We're just going to head right there, compile the port report, pick at the encampment for something nice. Nothing. Steady breeze blows from the north. Ozone and ice. The false stars prickle above. The salt lines wait for their end. And then we are going to head out and go back to Fallen London. Yeah, see? Rage Quit has me here. I am fine. I am in no danger whatsoever. See? I'm totally good. Unless he's lulling me into a false sense of security, at which point, that may be worse. No, but I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing quite fine right now. "90 terrors when you're in true danger." Oh, okay. Well, that I didn't know. luckily, I am still about 15 off from that. Somebody is restless. No way am I taking a chance with that. I'm going to ignore him good and well. His dreams are going to stay just like so. Dreams. We do not need illicit information to go on. We do not need to have those dreams explained for fragments when they could, and I think does, increase your terror by like 5 or 10. No way am I doing that option. I know, I'm just a very cautious backseat gamer. Don't worry, I have measured out very carefully now. Alright, we don't have anything illegal? Yes, we don't have anything illegal. So we can absolutely just let them on board. Nightmare's strength is still there. Anything from the harbor master? Nope, nothing so much. Alright, so let's go... Wait, actually, let's go offload our clay men here. This is where they wanted to be, or at least where they're supposed to be. Ashore, one by one they rise uncomplainingly, with no trace of stiffness or discomfort from the long voyage. The deck resounds beneath their heavy tread. A shroom yard manager waits on dock, tapping her feet. About time, here's your payment. Come along now, you. There's a good construct. Aw, only 120 echoes? I thought they would be worth so much more. That's okay, though. We made a little bit of cash off of that delivery. And let's see what else we have sitting in the hold here. Not a whole lot. I really wish we could store these in some way that was not, you know, just having them sit on board the ship. Because we're not currently using them. Now that we have this, I think this is a very good option to bring. I don't think we'll switch it out for anything. Let's go turn in our port reports here. Port reports. Guiders moored. Yep, pretty standard. Port Cecil. Godfall, which was Ashaven. Cumane Canal, pretty nominal. Khan's Heart brings the salt steppes, eh? Yes, this kind of material is always of interest. How a nation could be so barbarian and so decadent all at once is beyond me, but they're terribly dangerous. Wow, quite a bit for that. Sweet. The Utter Shroom. You spent time in Mycelgia. Myceligia. Dear me, I am most terribly sorry. Yeah, it's not super interesting there. Let's see what happens here. Ah, it exploded. Of course it did. Don't worry, I've still got more Admiralty. Mangrove College. Oh yes, the muddy philosophers do tell. We've got that finished for you. Polythreme, the king with 100 hearts. What a useful fellow. Without his exports, I'd be delivering my own coal. Ah, so there we should go and deliver last what was that? Go and deliver a watchful curio to him. Because that gives us access to him, or lets us talk to him, lets us do something with him. So at some point, we should definitely deliver that. Port Carnelian, doing pretty much same as it was. Frostfound, the Chelinet. Smell's still there. Khan's Shadow. Everybody's laughing. We've got some drinks out. Lost 5 terror from it, too. Lovely. Varkas, the mirrored city, eh? Still think we're the barbarians, do they? Irem. Oh god, what tense is it written in? Oh god, just read it to my colleague over here. He'll give you your fee. I'll be over there when you're done. Hold a moment. How much cargo space do I have? Okay, plenty. Just want to make sure I don't overrun my cargo space here. Adam's Way, the Elder Continent. Elder than what? Pile of Mithridatic nonsense, if you ask me. Yeah, I'm just here for the fuel, man. Salt lines, yep, still salty, empty, liney. Oops. Right, shouldn't talk about Mutton Island. Not worth much. We do have strategic information. I would like that to be vital intelligence, though, so I will hold off on that. Do you have anything that you would like me to do here? Let's see. This one? This one, yes. All right, so we need to go to Codex now. Shouldn't be too far. Yeah, that's actually just north of us. So we'll write that down, go to Codex for strategic information. Oh, and we have some vital intelligence. We do. Evidently we do. I guess we just had that the whole time? You know what? I think I'll actually wait on that until we have more to do. Until we have more of that. For the voracious diplomat, though, I'll go pick up another agent. Should we need one? Shall we give her a few moves in the Great Game? I think we shall. We'll give her 2 for 50 echo each. Yes, the diplomat is definitely my favorite of those two. Now, anything in Roser's Wharf? Ah. Actually, we can get them both, which is new. Bespectacled visitor will pay to learn moves in the Great Game. He drags his thumb over his thick mustache and nods. We'll give him 1. We've got 2. And he paid a little more than the voracious diplomat did for it. A step ahead. You breathe against the glass of a display cabinet. The bespectacled visitor scribbles down the words you trace into the condensation. Candlelight flashes in his dark glasses as he tucks the note into his breast pocket. Understood, thank you. He sets a heavy purse on the cabinet and leaves without another word. And... Oh, the rose garden is gone. What? I guess you can only do one of those at a time. All right, that's fine. That's fine with me. I will go to our study now. Well, first I'll grab the morning papers so we can get some more recent news, as well as supplies. Sweet. And lose some terror. We'll go to the study because we have accumulated lots of outlandish artifacts, which we can now convert into a monstrous almanac. You could fill whole shelves of notebooks with what you've learned of the Z, its monsters, its treasures, its secrets, and so you will. Let's do it. The distillation of treasures. The most complex truths evade easy revelation. One must track them, harry them, cage them. They must be caged only by ink wrung from the veins of treasures. To record these truths, I must grind these treasures for ink. They will call me eccentric, they will call me deranged, but they will never call me ignorant. We have the monstrous almanac. Lovely. Okay, well, we have that now. We've got the Shrine to Stone. We've got an anatomical cabinet. Do we have a serene aquarium? Not quite sure, but we do have the monstrous almanac. Last but not least, we need a whispering trophy case, which we get with strange catches, as well as the secrets. Then once we're done with that, we kind of good. Let me check if I've got a serene aquarium here. No, we do not. Right, because we don't have that live specimen. We also haven't figured out how exactly to get that live specimen yet. Perhaps we'll figure that out at a later date here. So we just have the Whispering Trophy Case and the Serene Aquarium to go and capture with strange catches and live specimens, or a single live specimen, respectively. Dang, I would love to be able to store these somewhere not in my hold. Just put it in my house, please. I really don't need them to get carried around with me. This cargo space is at such a premium, honestly. Anything else to do here? Could say look to Venderbite, trade off these visions of the surface. I really haven't found any other locations here to do with. We still have no idea what this port report of Fallen London is all about. No idea where it came from. No idea who it could be delivered to. No idea why it's so creepy. Yes, yes, we know so much. Not sure why it's written like that. But those are all things that we have to find at a later date. You know, let's see, what do we still need here? We need 4 the brisk campaigner. Ah, the docile blemigan. We don't know where to get that yet. We know. I assume that it's at Uttershroom. I assume that it's over in Uttershroom where you need the docile blemigan. But I really can't confirm that it is. That's just the only place that I can really think of that it would be, especially considering our blemigan is reluctant to go there and it had that specific option for him. I would assume that the blemigans come from there. But I'm not sure what we need to do there to get it. I think we needed to trade some prisoner's honey. Let's see how much that is. First, I will buy an emergency flare, though. Will I? Perhaps. In fact, yes. Yes, I will. I've decided now, here and now, that I shall. Now, for prisoner's honey, it is 25 here. That's a pretty reasonable price as far as I can tell, as far as I understand it. Is it cheaper anywhere else? In Rack, you can buy it for a single supply. So that'd technically be, if we got it supplies here, it would be a $5 savings. If we got it somewhere else, it might be a little bit better than that. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think 25 would probably be fine. So if, before we head out the next time, we should get a firkin of prisoner's honey to bring over to the Uttershroom. To do for now, though, I think we'll go up and just go to Codex. It's really not that far away. It's just, yeah, just up here by Wither. We've got plenty of fuel because of our port reports. We got more fuel than we really need, actually. And we can just hit up a few locations there and back to get port reports to cover the fuel for going up, and we'll be fine. Yeah, I think we'll be totally fine there. So let's just double check that we can't do anything else here. I don't think we've done anything in London with our Something Awaits Us, so we'll probably grab a new recruit here to fill up our space. We'll grab a desperate zailor. Oh, you know what we will do? We will sleep to reduce our terror and remove that wound that we have in our home. Let's see. Lodgings. There it is. Let's go rest here for 100 echo. 15 terror, wound, restful night. And beyond that, do we carouse in the docks? I think probably not. Do we put our ship in dry dock? Also, no. We've got plenty of hull to spare for a very short jaunt. So I think we're good to go. We will grab... let's see. What does Vendor Bite want that we can make a decent profit on? Probably mushroom wine. Though it's not a fantastic profit there. Definitely not Foxfire candles, despite wanting them. They buy them for cheap. So it would be a poor trade to buy Foxfire candles here and sell them in Vendor Bite. Maybe in Wither or Codex. Right. Wither deals in all those strange currencies, these stories, tales of terror, extraordinary implications, all that sort of thing. And Codex only has the default trades. Wow, really? Hmm. Suppose we could get Tales of Terror for supplies, or Z stories for fuel, but neither of those seem like a really advantageous option. Yeah, no, there's nothing really better that we can trade other than some. Let's see, where is it? Mushroom wine over to Vendorbite. Was there anything else in Vendorbite? I think that was earlier on in my recording here, so I didn't check whether there were better options there. Ah, right, our visions of the surface. We can trade that in for. Yeah, no, just about everything else. Pretty much useless. So let's go buy our casks of mushroom wine up to maximum. We'll just buy those for 21, sell them for 23. We'll make, 6 echoes of profit. 7. Or 6 or 8. I think 8. Then we'll just set off and do a nice little short trip up to Codex. And that will actually come back with us, and that'll bring us some vital intelligence. Yeah, some vital intelligence, because we'll have a second strategic information from the Admiralty's contact there. And we might as well stop off by the sisters on the way back. By Hunter's Keep. It's been a while since we've done that. Could stop off in Low Barnet too. It's actually been a long while since we've stopped off in Low Barnet. But we don't have any of the port reports that I think they would find interesting or informational. So probably wouldn't be a winning solution. So, we're coming up on Vendorbite. We have actually checked out Tanachuk now. Despite it looking like there should be something underwater there, nothing at all was underwater. I thought for sure something would be up in this northern section here, because it's like a sort of swirling kind of deal, but no, there was nothing available whatsoever. Shall we set off to battle these guys? Sure, let's go, Leitya. Go and light the little buggers up. Yeah, we'll gather them for food. Alrighty. So, Vendorbite first. Sell... Actually, no. Let's check. Hold on a moment. Are there more? No. Not more sales than before. I just discount the tomb colonists having their own shop. We'll not sell that until after we've done everything here. It might be advantageous to carry those around. We'll grab the port report. Do we have anything in our inventory here that might set off the curator and his stuff? It's been a long time since we even thought about it. Ah, a hunter's eye. Ooh. Oh, what did we get? Pelican. Fantastic. Wow, we finally got a color. Goodness knows how long later. But here we go. Give it your hunter's eye. I saw it once. I saw it long ago, when first I came here below. The driest of chuckles. My left eye is blind. Should I replace it with this one? It will be no blinder. But perhaps I will see within. It raises the hand with the hunter's eye towards its concealed face. No sound is indescribable, but some should be. This is one. Let us not trouble ourselves with its nuances, its reminders of marsh and gangrene and chrysalid emergence. Take, it says, its voice is ragged. It gestures at a side table where a spoiler tusk sits. A pearl tiara is perched jauntily atop the tusk. Both, apparently, are yours. Wow. Okay, we got a captivating treasure and a hunting trophy. Neat. We We can convert these into heirlooms. Do we need a captivating treasure for anything? Any quests that we currently have? I'm looking here, but I'm not seeing anything. They are very, very rare. They're very difficult to obtain. In terms of trades and sales, we can make quite a bit on it. Let's see here. Yeah, and Irem, they sell for 50 fuel, which is, well, more than we can carry, honestly. Even if we had a completely empty hold. Can't eat fuel either. In terms of other locations... they sell for 1,000 echoes in Khan's Shadow. Is it worthwhile to sell there? We're finally climbing up an echo. We've been making fair amounts on it finally. Thousands of echoes instead of tens or hundreds. Which is getting us closer to that ship. Do we save it for that location? Save it for Khan's Shadow. Do we pass it down? Do we save it for some other event? I'm not sure. I'm very much not sure. Yeah, I'm checking out the undersea economy pages that we've got. I'm not seeing a single other trade for it other than Khan's Shadow here. So let's keep it for there. Let's keep it. I hope that we don't have to pass anything down. I'm not sure how exactly it works if you do pass it down, but we've also got a hunting trophy for over there. So it's a good thing to have. Unfortunately, they will take up space. If I'm correct. Let me check up the hold. Oh no, you know what? It doesn't actually take up any space whatsoever, either of these. Perfect. Okay, so we can just carry those around until we need them for something. Most likely trade in Khan's Shadow. Well, that's nice. We finally got one out of the Severed Colors down. Goodness knows how many hours in to this voyage. Finally got one. We know where another one is. We know where the Apossian chess piece is. Where the chess pieces are. We just need to successfully, presumably win enough to get one. Everything else here, pretty much uninteresting. Let's go explore Venderbite. See if we can find something here. A withered garden. Dead fir trees have carpeted a little park with old brown needles. A little group of tomb colonists stands around another lying on a bench. Unexpectedly, you find yourself reminded of physicians and midwives at a birthing couch. Colonist on the bench. He's old, withered to sticks, groans horribly. Though the fir needles deaden the sound, something moves in his chest like a sea creature surfacing or a butterfly breaching a cocoon. The other colonists spot you and close ranks around him. Stay back, Silkskin, one hisses. This is his breaking out. Your time will come. Lovely. Gain some terror, a tale of terror, and some fragments from watching the poor old dude, like, have butterflies in him or something. Probably moths, judging by the fellow at the Ragged Crow. We'll go and sell off all of our casks of mushroom wine and set off north to Wither, then to Codex. This will be a pretty routine, hopefully, should be a pretty routine move just to go over to Codex here so we can get that strategic information and convert it into a vital intelligence, which should get us a hefty payout, but we will be doing that with the sneaky lady rather than the Admiralty standard. Ooh, Lifeberg see us? Maybe? I'm much more terrified of attacking Z-beasts instead of ships, because with ships you can at least stay. If you are very, very good at sailing, you can at least stay in an area where they can't hit you. With Z-beasts, you just can't back up fast enough to keep out of their range and fire at them at the same time. Maybe it's easier with an aft spot, an aft gun, but it's really difficult just as it stands. All right, House of the Question. Apparently gaining Storm's attention is quite the ordeal, involving live specimens and casks of mushroom wine. I think it might be time to ask about the drowned man. Northwest of Wither Town, the House of the Question stands alone. Here the initiates of the house make offerings to the 3 gods of the deep sea and perhaps a 4th who is not a god. It's the one place in Wither where you can sometimes get a straight answer for a price. I think we finally got enough echo to ask comfortably about this drowned man here. Not hear any of that anymore. So the initiates of the house are reluctant to speak of him. You might be able to bribe them enough to gain a few tenuous snippets. An end and the beginning. He's not a god. He came from the north, where it is too cold for gods, and to the north he will return. If you go north, nothing of you will remain. Whoa. Is that talking about Mr. Sachs? Is that talking about Mr. Sachs did send us over to the Avid Horizon here. And he tried to open up those gates. Is Mr. Sachs the drowned man? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. We'll grab our port report. No shore leave here. No point in it, and it's not going to do anything well enough. Let's go see if we can explore the town here. More riddles. Boy, are we kind of dumb, though. Yeah, our pages do not give us a very high chance of success on these riddles. We'll just try with the basic version here. Hey, we did it. A cat's shadow. So we bet an echo on one of the simpler riddles. One of the fishermen is trying to bursting to try it. A cat's shadow. The fisherman grumbles but pays up. There we go. Well, that's all done. We do not need to buy or sell anything here. We'll sail across to Codex to talk to the Admiralty's contact. Ooh. Nope, we will flee the nightmare. Do not need any of that going on right now. And luckily, our nightmares have ended. Since we only had that one. I honestly can't remember what happened the last time we fought that nightmare, but I don't think it was worth it at all. I think it just got us like a secret. Totally not worth it to have that risk giving us excess terror randomly in the middle of the ocean at some point that could be very bad for us. I think that's a poor idea to bet on. But we'll go and grab the port report and strategic information. Lovely. Nod, nod, shrug. She hands you an oilskin pouch. 9 foolscap sheets of beautifully written cipher gathered up from who knows what corners of the Untersee. You look up. She points across the water towards the distant lights of Wither Town. She shakes her head. No home for there, not now. She points to your ship and raises her eyebrows. Sure. We've got space aboard the ship. Absolutely, we shall. Let's permit it. Though other zailors clutch to their Z talismans and make signs against evil, the folk of Wither are uncanny. Those who were exiled to Codex must be more so. She can't or won't speak, but it's clear she knows the Z. She'll do well this one. A little bit of terror, salt's attention. That's okay. And a crewmate. Lovely. All right, well, let's set back off down to the... Why is this island dark? Surely I've seen this area before, right? Maybe it's just dark when it's in shadow? Okay. So some islands are dark because you haven't seen them yet, and then that's what I thought that was. And then some are just, visibly dark visually, even though you have seen them before. let's go on down to... I suppose we could stop at Demew Island. I think it should be fine. We'll be fine. Ah, a swarm of bats. Come here, you annoying buggers. Ah, the stars are changing again. The false stars in the cavern roof are shifting. Let's record the change and assign our name. Z-Bat. Bats is lucky, a gap-toothed stoker of airs. All agree, leathery, but lucky. Speaking of bats... Oop, oh, hit. We're good. Okay, we're good. Back, and fire. We're good. Okay, let's go grab up some food. Gains us a little terror, but that's totally fine. And still got quite a ways to go to get to the sisters. Hunter's Keep, that's the one. Oh, it looks like there's a crab just sitting there. He's kind of out of our way. If he comes around this rock, I'll turn around and deal with him, but if not... Oh yeah, he looks real stuck there. So we'll just let him be. Okay, we'll head a little further westward in our pathing. Should be coming up. Yep, there it is. Hunter's Keep. Let's go talk to the sisters. Now we've got... We'll double check whose attentions we've got for the gods. Oops, what am I doing? This one, yes. Let's see, is that menaces? There's so many of these now. We got stone and salt, so all we need is storm. How long has the letter been in your hold, by the way? The letter's been in a hold for like 2 or 3 streams now. We just haven't found Hideaway. We can't deliver it until we find the location, so there's not much to do there. We'll go grab a port report here. Shoot, which one is Storm? I think Storm would be Phoebe. I think. Salt is Cynthia. I'm not sure about the other two. But let's go with Phoebe here. Ah, there we go. We got Storm's attention here. Lost our hunger, gained some supply, lost some terror, gained a memory of distant shores. Phoebe has a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersee shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, Phoebe says quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finish the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. Okay, well, that's all good. Nothing else to do in Hunter's Keep, so we'll go on, set off. Do we stop in Low Barnet? Sure, we've got the terror to spare. We'll go and submerge, we'll stop off in Low Barnet. And what the heck, we'll spend the journey back to Fallen London underwater. Why not give it a shot? We do have the terror. We don't have the terror to summon the constant companion, so we should be good. All right, Low Barnet. Grab a port report. Ah, here's the port report. So if you recall, Low Barnet is the area of stories. I don't think we have... Yeah, we don't have any stories that we can trade to them as of yet. We've got... Oh, we no longer have very many storyteller points here. We visited all of these locations Now, save hideaway. So we still got to find where the heck that is. I have a feeling it may be this location next to the Gant pole. So there's an underwater location. By the time we get there, we're always over 50 fear. And so that underwater location there, I have a feeling might be hideaway. We'll have to confirm that, of course. So maybe we'll make a trip very explicitly out to across the north here, or maybe just directly diagonal to there, and try to see what that location is. But I think, yeah, that's everything we can do in Low Barnet. Nothing here. Yeah, nothing here to do. The Wandering Parson is still here. Oh, evidently he has not become ready to travel to his next location. And this is one of the places that has kind of the odd purchases. So they do still only buy and sell fuel. I guess just buy fuel and no, just sell. We buy fuel and supplies. They just happen to do it with odd materials, odd currencies instead. We'll go in underwater. Ooh, oh, a current. How does this work? Also, where are we? Okay, that's London proper. Huh. Interesting. So why is there a current there? Does that mean anything, or is that just a way of traveling faster, I wonder? Okay. Yeah, I'm in Fallen London proper, so let's go to surface. There we go. We are back in Fallen London. Nothing too interesting under the water. We did spend some time there. We'll go and pawn off our port reports to the Admiralty here. Everything should be pretty standard. Low Barnet. Anything in particular for our next location? Mangrove College in the Swallowing Isles. Okay. Back to... Swallowing Isles. For our next bit of strategic information. We will go... Keep our moves in the Great Game. We've only got the one now. We will convert, however, our strategic information. Let's see, using, Memory of Distant Shores now that we've got the mirrors for it, into Vital Intelligence. And then we'll go to the Voracious Diplomat and give her one of them. All right. Oh, interesting. So giving this to her gives the Dawn Machine supremacy as well. Very interesting. I wonder if that's a good or a bad thing. We are sort of working tangentially to it. We've not had them, like, give us that weird, like, what is it, a menace, I think? Like, burning, yearning, something like that. So we're kind of operating with them, but outside of their range of influence, which I'm actually okay with. I as long as we're not under their influence there, as long as they're not shooting our terror up like they did last time, I'm actually okay to work with them because I'm very interested to see what this Dawn engine is. And they are super duper supreme on the ocean right now. So I think that is that. Anything else to do here in Fallen London? Could reduce our terror quite considerably. Venturer still has his thing. We still have not had access to the Khanate yet, though we're starting to get there. I think we've only require two more deliveries of mushroom wine to the Khanate in order to get in there. And 21 bolts of spider silk. It's just, even if we do find Savior's Rocks, we're just not going to be able to do that. It's just too much cargo space for us to actually get there and get back, especially with all of our random bits and bobs taking up space in the hold, all of the objects that we've got for certain quests or another, or emergency situations with the flare, or just the ones we can't leave in our bloody study. We just can't leave them there for some reason. We got to take them aboard our ship every time we pack in and out. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if we could leave this, that would free up so much space. We're not using them anyway. It's a bit of a shame. But I think that's actually my time for today. We're over time. I guess the first voyage that I took all the way across must have taken 3 hours, because I definitely didn't spend all that much time going up to Codex here. I think, let's go check out the city here, or maybe the Labyrinth of Tigers. We could purchase a live specimen here, 500 Echo. And that would actually allow us to, in our study, create the Serene Aquarium here. But that'll just take up more space that we aren't in our hold. I think what we will do is that we will attempt to get our ship upgraded. Yeah, because look at this. We've currently got the Nereid, which has you know, our stats, decent amount of hull, a kind of small hold, and a decent quarter. We could immediately upgrade to the Lampad class cutter. It's only got a hull of 50 though, and the hull is the thing we're very worried about. It's also got a smaller hold capacity. Honestly, I have no idea why somebody would upgrade to this. Maybe for the mirrors and veils bonus? Maybe just to get the ship's slot? Ooh. Or we could upgrade to the Forced class, and we actually have enough Echo for that now. My goodness. Do we do that? It would leave us with basically no Echo. It goes faster 300 weight instead of your 1,000. Oh, I see. Do it from Lieutenant over here. I think that would be a terrible idea. Because it doesn't increase our hold capacity is my issue with it. I want to increase our hold capacity is holding us back quite a bit now. Even though it increases our hull and our quarters, those are two things that we really don't have to do here. See, we have a back and forth in the determine. There's only one reason to get the Corvette, says Rage Quit. What is that reason? Please enlighten me. It's the Titan of ships. It's to kill Mount Nomad for money. Oh, we've come across Mount Nomad once. We don't have a gun sitting in our inventory though. Ooh, and this is what interests me. So it doesn't have a forward gun, right? It's got all the other slots, but it doesn't have a forward gun for some reason. If you don't know how to do that and don't want me to tell you how to do it with the Corvette, then I would recommend not buying the Corvette. Yeah, I'm not really that much into the combat in this game. There are lots of things that I've come across that I could try and fight, but I think that would do it would do very poorly. I think we're going to try to hold out for this. It doesn't have a forward gun slot, but it does have an aft slot. Which, hold on a minute. How does this still have 5 slots and this has 5 slots? Oh, I see. This does not have an aft slot. It's actually missing that. Same with all of this. So I want to get this merchant cruiser instead. So that'll give us the aft slot here, and it'll give us so much hold capacity. This will triple our current hold capacity here, which is fantastic. That'll let us do so much better trading runs. It'll allow us to carry fuel to go across things. It'll just be amazing. The hull is also still pretty decent. I think that's actually more than the Corvette as well. Quarters also good. Yeah, that'll just be a fantastic thing to have. Fortunately, it costs 7,000 Echoes, so this is going to be a long-term investment opportunity that we're going for. It does reduce our veils a little bit, but our veils, honestly, we could spend 5 secrets to increase our veils to have it come out even. Shouldn't be too much. Once we get this merchant cruiser, though, I think we'll be able to make that. That is when we're going to go hard into finding out a good trading route, doing some trade, maybe some sort of boring trade route profits, just going back and forth from a very prosperous location there. I think that would be that. That would be when we went into that, and then after that, hey, maybe we can grab some frigates, the dreadnought. Those will be after we've made our profits, though, because holy crap, look at those! Look at those prices. Those are both absurdly priced. So I'm sure somebody has done a speed run of this. Somebody who knows this game very well has done a speed run. It's just like getting the dreadnought in 30 minutes or something like that, instead of the 6,000 hours it'll probably take me. But that'll be something for next time. We won't buy up our ship here. We will not be getting the Corvette, nor will we be getting the cutter. So I think that's that. I think, let's see, we don't have any recruits to grab. We will fix up our ship, though, with some Admiralty's favors. And with that, I think we will just about end the stream here. Did we turn in our... Yes, we did turn in our port reports already. So we'll go and end the stream. We are a little bit over time anyway. If you are interested in more Sunless Sea stuff, I will be coming back on Thursday, 3 PST. That's when I will be going back to this. Hopefully then we will go and clean out this bottom area here. Maybe we'll get into Khan's Glory. We've only got 2 more deliveries to make there. And hopefully, really hopefully, we will find Hideaway so we can finally deliver those like 3 quests that we've got for it. Yeah, and hopefully we'll do all of that. But that'll be on Thursday, 3 PST. If you're not just interested in the Sunless Sea stuff, I will be back tomorrow, 3 PST, same time, playing some Stuff Ages. We're getting a little industrial there, if you're interested in joining that. So feel free to join. I hope to see you guys at one of those 2 things. And if not, you know, I hope you guys go out there and live a very fulfilling, very good life for you out there. So take care of yourselves. I'm going to dip. That's the end of the stream. Cheers, everybody.